fight the power like Big Chuck.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion. And if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality. Bakushi thinks he's won the game, but he didn't count on a pinch hitter.
All is continuous vibration, always in motion. Conductor of energy, a salt in the ocean. Serpent is the sine wave, polarities interwoven. A chemical sorcery, elixirs and potions. Resonant frequencies, molecular explosions. Your daily programs is heavy doses of hypnosis. People walk around blind even though their eyes are open. No time for ideological salesmen with biblical notions. That box in your room, televised lies through your vision. It doesn't matter your race, status, or religion. No longer have to beat you when your mind is locked in prison. That food is filled with toxins, it's why you can't think clear. Illusion of choice is your option while keeping all in fear. Load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here. I said load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here.
We ain't in the same place, or occupy the same space, so get the fuck out my face.
In the instant I changed the mission with photosynthesis. Witness the synthesis, rip it in the song instruments. Feel the frequency, energy off this Hennessy synergy. Literally those that take us to infinity. Reading articles, all is horrible, calling audibles. I'm remarkable, I shot a fed at a carnival. Dust and particles, follicles gon' be everywhere. Heavy pair of some pistols, I shot them holding that teddy bear. Fuck the system, let's keep it simple and raise the temple. Make them triple while you're going to where they all assemble. Not Avengers, I'm the Avenger, I seek the engine. Kept my temper till I stuck the hidden blade up in them. Fuck the ruler, here's what they doing to you. Poison water in the food is what you put into you. I'm the shooter with new maneuvers. Caught back to Ruger, super trooper. He is gonna need a pooper scooper. The revenge of Montezuma. Rockin' my Pumas, uppercut like a Kuma, sending you straight to Luna. Cosmic verses from universes on new excursions, emerging the virgin. I pull it back the iron curtain. War leaders are war eaters, born cheaters, war sneakers, rearrange their core features. Born reaper, hurricane, the sword keeper. Form ether, burn all of the mold geezers. Up in government, parliament, bitch, I'm tarnishing arguments. Ain't no bargaining, throw a bomb in the audience. I'm the guardian, strange you all in the cardigan. Rearrange the universe, I am the artisan.
We ain't in the same place, or occupy the same space, so get the fuck out my face.
As a king, fighting the spirit of Mesa King, vibing to my queen, playing the tambourine, while I'm eating the tangerine. My plasma was replaced with gasoline, got the blood of the Elohim, manifesting through a dream, a shit you never seen. I got the eyes of Medusa, and the hands of Wolverine, astral project with my inner being. We locked in the inner ring, hoping the Anunnaki intervene. Why the world is under siege, they got an abyss under the sea, living underneath. Lightning struck me standing under a tree while I was crumbling weed, and an angel swooped down, put me under her wing. Now she shields me from my desires the devil brings. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion. And if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality.
Domain expansion. Welcome to the abyss. The unstoppable one. I am the illest, no doubt. Sporadic, eternal fire. There is no putting me out. I'm sending fiery rain, destroying cities and towns. The government never changed, so I'm taking them out. The FBI is a bitch. The CIA is a bitch. The NSA is a bitch. I know they watching this shit. We fuck around and get hit. My
Alright. I know I'm late. I had to put some stuff together. I was late to get home. And I wanted to put a few things together because I seen something interesting. So I was watching a video and the guy was making a point on these old bills, how it showed the Pentagon or the pentagram and the Twin Towers, right? So he was showing a new $100 bill and it showed this. They seem to think it's a rocket, which it does look like. And then they were comparing New York City with the new $100 bill to that. Now, that could either be a flood or it could be fire from an explosion. Considering we're in a new war, this is very, very alarming. Now, they're saying New York City, but how the fuck do they know? It could be anywhere in the U.S. That's how disturbing these people are. I think missile launch from the $10 bill. Now, this could be the same missile that hit the pentagram. You know, I remember seeing the pentagram when it was hit, and I knew it wasn't no airplane. Little ass hole in the building. No plane parts. A bunch of luggage scattered on the fucking lawn. They did a very sloppy job, but people still bought it. Yeah, these new bills, this one especially. The wild thing is, look, on each side it fucking has something. Huh. And then I found this picture. I had to research this stuff. It took me a little bit to come to a conclusion with this stuff right here that was found on this was found in the rubble. And what do you know? These things have washed up. I was looking them up. These things washed up from people have found them in fishing nets in the ocean, deep in the ocean. These things are found after a so-called meteor goes across the sky. People could believe there's meteors if they want, but every time there's these so-called meteors, people ain't finding a rock. They're finding devices or whatever, anything but a rock. Now, I don't know why these would be. I don't think that's 9/11. I don't look like it. But anyway, this is the most disturbing one right here. You know, Trump just threatened fucking Iran, talking about he's going to level the whole country, blah, blah, blah. This isn't good, man. People just don't understand how bad this is. This is not good at all. You know, Trump starting this shit is going to really collapse the world. You know, people think it's just another day. This is terrible stuff, man. If the world collapses, it ain't going to be like people think. It's going to be straight chaos. if shit collapses, there's gonna be no food in the stores. Yeah, and that's what they want. Nobody's gonna be going to work. You know, running water will end, electricity will end. People will be fucking robbing each other, killing each other. If you have no weapons, I feel bad. All because of Trump and these politicians and bankers. It ain't just Trump, actually. It's the fucking bankers. What's up, Renegade? This shit's terrible, man. Sometimes I don't sleep. When I have my days off, I don't sleep at night. I be up thinking about this shit. I think about everything. Rent is going up again. It's like, I don't know, man. If the economy goes up, everyone's rent's going to go up. And then it's going to come to a point where people ain't going to be able to pay it. One good thing is if the courts don't work, well, they can't evict you. I don't even think at that point people would care. Like, landlords would be like, fuck it. They'll be worried about themselves and feeding their family. But still. Who's Dan Beach? Is that you, Michigander? Oh, okay. I was about to say, I knew it was you, Michigander. Yeah, I know. That's crazy, Renegade, right? The 45th and 47th president equals 9/11, man. It does. That's just right in our face, man. Trump, yo, these that's why these people are building bunkers. It makes sense. I don't think it's gonna be New York. I really don't. I think it's gonna be LA. Because people out west these rich people live out west and they're building bunkers out west. Maybe it'll be numerous cities at once. Knowing these people, maybe it'll be New York, Chicago, and LA all at once. You never know, man. Because they're talking a little too much about these like Iran even came out and said they don't have the weapons Trump's talking about. It's bullshit. And it's good they came out and say that, because if something happens, I mean, look what Israel did, you know? They're killing innocent women and children. And that missile hit that school. The only people that have that kind of missile is Israel. They try to deny it and say it wasn't them. Like, these people Trump's committing war crimes right now. If Trump bombs their water supply and their electricity, that's war crimes. You know, and what these people are doing, we're going to end up suffering for what they're doing. I guarantee it, man. Trump and cronies will be underground chilling, eating steaks and lobster while we're up here fucking cooked. I'll find my way underground. Don't fuck with me. For real. If you got time, come up, Renegade. I sent you something today about oh yeah, the moon landing. That's another one I want to laugh at real quick. April Fools. Let's see, where's this picture I got? Pull that up. Damn, where is it? Where is it? Oh, I got that. Oh yeah. Fucking nose is clogged. Look at this shit. Ball. Barium and aluminum spells ball. That's fucking nuts. Then you got this. You flip around. You can hear me, Michigander? No, maybe he can't hear. I don't fucking know. You alive, Michigander? He needs to go out and come back in. This shit's fucked up for him. I don't know. This is the Baphomet. This was the other stupid thing they did. But look at this. Look at this. This is in your body. You know what's wild? I seen some woman talking about it, and it's good to see people talking about what I've been talking about for a long time, about when Jesus is taking demons out of the body. The Bible talks about fasting. The demons are the parasites that possess you and make you sick. Yep. I'm telling you, man. Look at this ugly ass parasite, yo. Look at its teeth. Look at this fucking thing, yo. I might have used that as my new avatar, yo. But look at this. This is on their so-called space mission. Now look, these motherfuckers aren't even in that spaceship. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yo, these cats are on a zip line. I was watching the video. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So then I watched some other videos and people were pointing out the same thing I seen. I thought I was bugging. I said, motherfucker, these bastards ain't. Because I thought they took an elevator down and out of there. There ain't nobody on the rockets. It's filled with helium and whatever. It's a fucking joke, man. These people are lying. People still gonna believe it. Be like, no, Chuck, no, they're on the moon, yo. They're up there. Well, how come this mission, April 1st, 1960, first television picture from space, this also took place on April 1st. Is that a coincidence or is it a fucking joke right in our face on April 1st? Yeah. All part of the world stage, man. Just distractions, that's all. Going to hell in a handbasket. I like that saying. Oh man. Like I was watching this video that and it just kept playing depressing shit. I was like, man, I gotta stop watching this shit and turn it off. That's like enough's enough, man. I don't even want that shit to exist in my square anymore. Like that's all it pumps out all day on these videos is negative shit. And if it ain't negative shit, it's pointless shit. Next thing would be fucking missiles raining over our heads. If that war is even, I was thinking about what me and Dom were talking about the other day. I wonder if these wars even are really going on. Imagine theater of war. That'd be some shit if these wars never even fucking were going on. It's just all theater. Damn, when'd you write all this back here? Let you up. An idiom. What's an idiom? Describing the situation. An idiom. Let me look idiom up. Yo, I just seen something on Australia. Australia is fucking red. The sky was fucking bloody red.
I bet. There's a lot happening right now. Listen, they're lying, dude. They're lying about everything. Trying to keep. There's so many people waking up and stuff. The stuff that I'm recalling and doing. Just don't tread on it so much. What's going to happen is happening. You're right. They're sucking your energy, everything. But you're on point with a bunch of stuff like that war stuff. All that stuff could be bullshit. I don't know. We ain't there. I wouldn't worry about it so much. I know that I just caught a thing where 30 generals just stood up against Trump.
Iran
and now
could be in on it too. That they could be all in on it to crash the world's economy.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to push they're trying to push everybody to that one world currency shit, and everybody knows it. It's not working. They're pissed off. I'm laughing. Listen, there was guys better than us that knew what's going on. We've been enslaved for so long, dude. People are waking up across the board. I could tell you through meditation and shit. There's good guys that knew this was coming. I've been saying the same thing for almost a decade now. Dude, these guys ain't gonna win. It's gonna be a big fucking, it's hard to explain, but like you said, everybody's walking around zombified to shit like that. And the thing is, you got free will. You can't force them. And I'm watching that and dealing with it here out in the woods. So it's kind of wild. We got to get our people off the poisons and shit. That's number one, man. If these people are eating and drinking and getting high, they're not going to wake up, dude. You're muted. You're muted. Did I lose you? Free thinkers, powerful people come together. You're muted. Hey, you were showing that money stuff? Which bill were you showing? Because they had stuff going on with that money. There was two things that hadn't happened yet that were predicted on the money. One of them was a dam coming down, and the other one was the alien invasion thing.
My bad. I had to use the bathroom real quick. All right.
Anyway, hey, that money thing you were showing, there's two things they haven't done yet to the money. There was an invasion, alien invasion thing, and I think it was more released about the aliens, and they've done that. And then the dam, they showed the dam coming down.
That's why they're doing this moon stuff and all that.
It's all satanic ritual stuff, and it ain't working. Listen, it's not working. These guys are fucked.
Oh shit! Look at Trump's son. That thing's ugly, yo. From as above, so below. From micro to macro. This shit is so little you can't see with the naked eye, but that shit's munching. Look at his teeth, yo. Yeah. Imagine this thing as big as us. It's the Honey I Shrunk the Kids. Imagine you could reverse it and make this thing big. That would be wild. Wild.
What if you were the one controlling that? That's what they're afraid of. That's where your giants come from, dude.
More or less, that thing controls us. It latches onto the spine.
Does it? Well, I was going to ask you what it was. I've seen that picture before a long time ago.
Not only that, if it gets in your bloodstream, it gets to your brain, you're fucked. If parasites get in your brain, you're done. And I gotta get this oil of oregano. Oh yeah, there's something else. I got a couple more points to make here real quick. With this so-called moon mission here. All right. We're all adults here. You know, they like to they like to do their phallus worship, right? You know, turn this one sideways. What do you get? I can't turn it sideways now, but you got a penis with balls. Look, what's here? A penis with balls. This is the Mars, the so-called Mars rover thing. Then this was pointed out, and I thought that's supposed to be them. This is supposed to be them halfway to the moon. Something ain't right. This is us on Earth. Look how big the moon is. That's them halfway to the moon? What the fuck is going on? How far? Yo. Oh, man. This is insane. Thank God there's some people left with common sense, man, to show this stuff. Like me. Like, they just love penises, man. They're always doing the phallus worship. And this is the Space Force. You got your 8-pointed star. I don't know what that's representing. Maybe Polaris. I doubt it. But why is there an Egyptian guy on there? That's on the Space Force insignia. Anyway, I had to point that out. It was weird. Now, where's that? I gotta see if I could find that picture I got of those politicians where it looks like they have a fucking come on. Would a Michigander fall off? Yep.
Hey, that thing you just showed, that baseball thing, put that back up there.
Hold on.
That's going down right now, dude. Listen, we already won. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Like, I'm the boss. That thing you just showed, that shit's already done and over with.
Here it is. What did you want?
That Space Force sign you were just putting up with the Egyptian face.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, that's listen, there's time frames and shit coming together right now. Before I met you and everything, remember that conscious thing I told you I was clapping on? Dude, I'd never been that clean in my life, dude. Eating and everything else, dude. But that stuff right there, dude, I'm clapping with that right there. I've had people almost crash their cars and shit when I was doing it out in the woods. And I most definitely ain't on Trump's fucking side. So if that tells you anything, I'm telling you right now, man, you just got to get clean and stuff, dude. I'm fixing to ditch out and go back in the woods and do it again. There's nothing these guys can do. They're toast, dude. This shit's retarded, bro. I'm sorry, dude. I don't have any other way to say this, but this shit is retarded.
I don't condone what the U.S. is doing either. They're bombing innocent Iranians, if all that's true. Like the Ukraine war, I noticed a lot in the Ukraine war, they would have blue or yellow ribbons on their arm. You only do that in training exercises. And they're showing footage of these soldiers with bright yellow ribbons around their arm. You wouldn't do that in real war. You get your fucking head smoked off. They'll be able to see you so easy in the woods, like, And then it made me think about the theater of war. Like people say, oh man, that shit's real. But look at a movie. A movie looks so real. Who knows?
I'm touching off just because of the AI. Listen, I can't find nothing that's going on that's fucking real. It's all Facebook is all fake ass AI. Everything 90% of what I'm finding on here is fake ass fucking AI. I'm just shutting down, going back in the woods. It ain't even interesting no more. I find it just fucking retarded. And I get blocked from simple words. I can't even get out and scream and say no truth, nothing.
Yo, these fucking people are driving me nuts, man.
Yep, I mean the military is going to turn on Trump overnight, and it's stupid.
No, they're not.
They already did. That dude's in trouble. They're all hiding and shit. But it's got to do with that stuff you're talking
I hope
about.
Iran drops a missile on Trump's face.
Dude, man, it's that nanotech and stuff like that, and they're slowly going through and making it illegal in certain states. I don't know what to say, dude, but I'm watching it. People are fucking.
The only reason we're at war with fucking Iran is because of Israel. Why don't Israel handle their own business? They wouldn't be nothing without us. All the money that the U.S. gave Israel to build themselves up, other than that, they wouldn't be shit. Israel could go fuck themselves.
I think it's all insane. Literally, government means brainwashing, mind control. Literally, government means control mind, dude. It's all brainwashing. Every aspect of it, everything you fucking know is brainwashing, bro. You got to get back to nature. There's no other way to do it.
Do I still have these videos?
It's fucking wild, dude.
You were here the other day when I played. Oh, they're gone. Hold on. What video is this? Hold on.
See,
Some of those beliefs were influenced by the cycles they would witness down here. Fresh, clean water is essential to all life. There's a new threat to our water out west, and it's in the form of buildings as big as the canyon I'm standing in. These buildings require millions of gallons of chemically stable water to cool down their processors. So they have started harvesting it primarily from the most pure source, groundwater. The very reason for all the life you are seeing. In places where the water table is already dropping, these massive machines will suck the aquifers dry even faster, using anywhere from 2 to 5 million gallons of crystal clear groundwater a day, stealing it from all living things to power a machine.
I've never seen more frogs before.
That's not good, man. People be like, but it's going to bring jobs. Who gives a fuck? Fuck the jobs. It ain't going to bring no jobs anyway. They just want to put these data centers up. And if they're sucking the water out of the ground, they're going to pollute that. We're fucked, man. These people are just fucking Mother Earth up, man. They don't care. Them and their dumbass fucking computers.
I mean, doesn't that just say it all? Doesn't that say it all when people's big answer for all this shit is, well, it's going to create jobs? I mean, how much more slave-minded could you be, bro? You know, like that's the big goal is more jobs, regardless of consequences. It's like, you can't be a real person, bro, if you're still on that level. I just don't get it.
Man, it reminds me of that guy who works for Comcast or one of the cable companies, and he's like, he climbs towers and shit and puts those things up. And he was like, I gotta feed my family, you know? They were interviewing him and he's telling the people how poisonous these towers are and how people are gonna get sick and it's emitting all this and that, and he knows this. And he's still putting them up. He's like, I got to feed my family. And in 7 years, I'm going to need money to pay for my cancer. And right then and there, I'm like, dude, this is why we're fucked.
Yeah, I've seen it growing up with people that work in chemical plants and shit. It's the same mentality.
Instead of people saying no and standing their ground and telling everyone, look, they're trying to put this up, it's going to make us sick, and it's emitting a bunch. People will go put it up and be like, I gotta feed my family. You ain't gonna have a family. You put all these things up. They don't think ahead. Whatever. What does it matter, man? People are, I don't know, man. Sometimes I hate living in this place. Surrounded by ding-dongs.
Hey man, wait a minute, back up just a step. That thing you just said about fucking the radio guy and the cancer. I was just sitting on the side listening to the show. Do you know how fucking retarded that sounded? Go back and play that back. I'm for real. Go back and play what you just said back again and listen to what the thing you were saying. And I'm not saying it's you, it's the dude saying it. It's fucking retarded from start to finish. I'm fucking floored, man. I'm trying to say it to people calmly, and then they just look at me when it clicks. They just look at me and it's like, well, what do you want me to say? I'm going back in the fucking woods, dude. Fuck this shit. Bro.
Look at this stupid shit. When I seen this face, they're saying it's a disorder, right? But why is this guy's face up there look like that? You see that? And look at this chick's face. What the fuck is going on here? The dude on the right has that face, yo. No joke. He has that face, just like that chick at the bottom and the dude.
Hey, there's a cycle. This happens when people wakes up. The last time this happened, it was World War I, and that's where you got all your mental asylums from. The people who remembered after the fucking magnetic whatever.
Shit.
That's where you got the asylum from, dude. Hey, they're just trying to do it again. It ain't gonna work this time, dude. It'll be all right. Just handle yourself. Don't do nothing dumb, dude.
I was watching Dom's here. I was watching this thing about Tartaria and how, man, Tartaria, what's that guy's name, man? I can't think of his name. He lives overseas. And he talks a lot about chakras too.
David Icke? No.
Damn. Hold on. I got his video saved. I'm gonna go look at it. What's up, Dom? Cause
Check. Quiet. Hello? Okay.
all right, now I gotta do MP4, Instagram, converter. Oh shit. Come on. Sometime today, dude. What the fuck is this shit? Oh, here we go. Cool.
Here you go, buddy.
I think it's downloaded already. This would be awesome if it is. You guys don't know this guy. As soon as you see him, I always forget his name, but some of his content is pretty good. But it seems he knows a lot about Tartaria and how they were conquered and pretty much, I don't know. I don't know how true all that stuff is, but hey, it sounds good. Like the new backdrop. I found some cool backdrops. I got one that has a train, but it gets kind of boring watching a train go nowhere. It like repeats itself. So I said, nah, it gets pretty boring. Come on.
Oh.
Come on, sometime tonight. God, it's only a minute and 50 seconds. Imagine if this was a half hour. We'd probably have to like sleep on it. All right, here we go.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the 5G future, bro.
Right.
We're enjoying the spoils of all this high technology.
Right. The high tech illusion.
Yeah. That's something I was gonna mention a while ago. I posted a video last night from there's this guy. His name is James Lee, Li. He's like a reporter type guy. But he did a piece yesterday, and I posted a link on my community tab where somebody was testing out this Chat GPT thing, and it was clearly wrong.
Don't tell me he got caught lying.
Yeah, and the Sam Altman, like this guy made a video where he...
Is it the one where he told him to time himself running?
Yes.
And then he said, okay.
Yeah.
And he said it was 7 minutes. It was only like 7 seconds. That one?
Yeah. Yep.
See?
She
like
played that.
Were saying that thing's programmed to lie to us, man. Who, you know... Anyway.
Yeah, and not only that, it's programmed to respond to us gaslighting.
Yeah.
Right? It's odd, bro. And then she presented that right in front of the Sam Altman guy, and he lied and said that it was some language that language model is not programmed. It's missing certain components. So then the guy who made the original video did a follow-up where he asked, or he made ChatGPT watch him respond to the video of Sam Altman talking about it. And then this guy was trying to explain to the AI that Sam Altman was talking about him. And he's like, no, I assure you I can do it. And he said, okay, well, time me running again. And this time he did it, and it told him another time, like the same thing, but different. It went from 10 minutes to 7 minutes. And then the guy said, no, that's clearly wrong. And then the fucking AI says, yeah, I know in the moment it seems like it's long, but it's not. It's like, motherfucker.
I think I seen that video this morning or yesterday morning on this guy plays a bunch of TikTok videos, and that one was on there, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, and this is a company that just got another 100 and something billion. They're up to 800. This what is it? OpenAI. It's valued, quote unquote, at 800 and something billion dollars. For what exactly? For a fucking thing that's
fake? That's the guy. His name just.
Yeah.
But yeah, the internet is the new. You know, I don't want to call it book burning, but the internet having everything in the palm of the hand is very dangerous, and it's going to definitely push all types of lies. And people think because it's in the palm of their hand and you could get information right away that, you know, you're very intelligent and smart, but that's far from the truth. I think that's the biggest trick is people, you know, will think that because they have all this information right there that, you know, they're doing something, but they're not. You know, that's just my
yeah, it's definitely smoke and mirrors. It's a magic trick.
I mean, there's some good in it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to look at it all negative. You know, if you want to learn how to fix the transmission, you could find videos on it and stuff. You get some positive stuff, but there's always a sinister agenda with everything these people push out. Like Palantir tracking everything we do. You know, all our emails, phone calls, all these apps that records you running and where you run and what street you go down. All that shit is fucking uploaded into a fucking data center. And it's wild, man. This whole... I never thought that there would be data centers everywhere. I didn't even know what a data center was back in the day. And you know what? It's not that I don't like change. I seen what it was doing to the people in Tennessee. Look it up. These people, I think it was Zuckerberg put one up there. Because you got Gates, Zuckerberg, and the other fucking cheese nugget. Yeah, Musk.
Yeah.
And they're putting them up by the hundreds. And I think it's going to come to a point where we're going to need to fucking crash them down. I think so. People are going to start getting very ill. How many gallons does that guy say they need to keep them cool? And that's going to contaminate all that water.
Yeah, they're throwing them up down here in Louisiana.
People want to drink that water, go ahead. I already think the tap water here is getting me sick. Maybe I should just ignore everything and fucking live with my head in the sand, right? None of this exists.
Yeah, I just, it's been fucking, I've always been an eternal optimist, dude. Hopeful. Every time I've always ran into a situation where I had a setback, it was always like, all right, I got a setback. Well, I got to fucking work twice as hard and, overcome that. And all that was working until 2020. And it's like now it's, like Michigander said, dude, it's just sitting around hoping for the best and waiting. That's about all.
You could jump in Renegade whenever you want. Renegade came up on panel.
Yeah, they're cool. I'm listening, man. It's like I'm so fucking depressed. So I don't have much to say, man.
I hear you, man.
Fucking hardcore. Fuck. I think it's so strange with these Lego videos, man. It takes like 1 hour and then them out on the net. It's like damn quick them making a video with good sound and blah 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 prof and out. Something is strange with those things, man. Can't really get it. It's like,
what was that? I had to go get toilet paper.
Yeah, but Chuck, those Lego videos that Iran is making.
Oh yeah.
But them released like 1 hour after the speech or something. Them so quick out
I know. I'm gonna upload all of them.
Something there is like, no. Or can AI make it that good, that quick in that short time with all of that information in a couple of hours, man? It's like, whoa. Feels like they made them before this shit. It's like strange, man.
Maybe.
Oh.
This whole thing is strange. It just so happens the strait of, what is it called? Hormuz or whatever.
Yeah.
It has like 30% of the world's oil and everything. And these people, maybe the alien invasion ain't gonna work because people seen right through it. So they're gonna use this now to crash the world. Like, these people are sinister, man. And I sometimes get sick of living in this place.
Yeah, man, same here, So I'm staying in the woods. I'm hanging out with my dog. Minimal, go to the shop and buy some food. Minimal, man. It's like I'm so tired of people. It's so crappy everywhere.
Me too.
You see the zombie style. If you go to this mall and you have to go to some bigger place, it's like a zombie place. People don't even feel like walking around them, and they don't look you in the eyes. It's like all the older people are like, them done.
You lucky you don't live here.
To the max. It's like something happens the last years, man. The last couple of years, it's been totally different, man.
They probably changed the frequency. If they could tap into the mountain at the center, like in the movie Dark Tower, how they were tapping into the magnetic mountain in Dark Tower. If they could do that with whatever this place is, I think it's like some sort of sophisticated computer. We might be in some Mecca. I mean, not Mecca. We might be in some cube, Saturn's cube, or some fucking machine.
I think it's all about collective consciousness. I think that's the supercomputer that's working here on a quantum level. if any of this woo woo shit, like I entertain. I'll listen to all the information about all this technological woo woo shit, and I'm like, all right, it sounds legit. It's fucking got a lot of paperwork behind it, but I'm like, I'm very skeptical about all of it. But if there's one thing that has proven itself in my observation and real life experience, is this collective conscious thing, and I think that's why everything's about propaganda and the social media and keeping up appearances and just blatantly lying when they know they're blatantly lying. Why would you do that if you know you're outing yourself as a liar?
Trump's always lying, man. He can't even.
Yeah, well, it's
Trump's
like their only weapon. Their only weapon is this collective conscious. So if they can get enough people to buy into whatever idea they're selling, then it makes it legit by default, and we have to deal with it. You know what I mean? So I think like this war thing it is odd. It's very odd how all the information about it is coming out.
It's such a low level. You got United States. You guys over there is like 250 years young. And this Trump ass is going to drag them down. And that culture is 7,000 years old. It's fucking Persia, man, we're dealing with. Not fucking McDonald's and neon lights. Right. That is what USA for us over here. Looking from Sweden, from my point of view, I'm not talking about you guys. You know that, chat. Right. If I'm checking out, USA is always here I come, I'm the best, I'm the fucking greatest, and it's hip-hop this, and it's bling-bling that, and it's like, it's just a cover-up. It's such a thin face on a small dick, excuse me, man. It's like so embarrassing. And lies to fucking all of the world, in every fucking places, and putting up a finger in the ass. In every country they have some bases, man. What the fuck is going on? Hitler was a nice guy compared to this shit. Right. Seriously. It's fucked up, totally.
Yeah,
we got some people over here in
Sweden,
they love Trump. They're like, oh, he's got his Q plan. Just trust the fucking plan. Fuck off.
Q.
So fucking tired of it.
What do we mean, James Bond? Q.
Yeah. Epstein.
Yeah, the Jews don't like that, man. And the thing about the Germans, the Jews started that war, I found out. And they're just mad the Germans stomped them to oblivion. But war, nobody wins in war, man. It's fucking the only people that win are the people at the top. It's always the people that are fighting the war that are suffering. It don't matter what side. Nobody wins in fucking war. We're the ones that always pay the price.
Yeah.
They
need us to bring the war. I mean, that's the thing. We are actually paying for this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what happened in World War II. I'm not picking either side, but
no, same here, man. But now we're in the middle of a big thing, man. If we can,
more young men and women, man.
Big, man.
They're trying to draft here, Renegade. They're gonna draft up to 42 years old.
Boy, whoa.
Yep.
That ain't gonna go over, bro. That's the only. See, that's where they fucked up, right? They kicked us in the fucking face for so long, and then now all of a sudden they need our help, and they think we're gonna just step up. No, bro, ain't how it works, bro. Sorry, there's a natural rebound that happens when you fuck somebody over. You're gonna get what's coming to you eventually, and I think they're about to get it.
Yeah,
they are overstepping their fucking boundaries.
I'm not going. Shit.
Nah,
they must have lost their mind.
When you're listening to you guys over there, and they're like, yeah, we got so talented young guys. They're in the Marine Corps. Then in this, the militaries are great. And it's like 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old, man.
Yeah.
Life has just started, for fuck's sake. So my daughter is 30 years old, and it's like, could be her boyfriend or something going in there, you know. For who? Why?
Yeah.
So
And like, I don't have kids and a family, right? But if I did have kids and a family, you think I'm gonna be more likely to fucking go to it? No, bro.
No.
No.
Oh yeah. It's fucked up. Really.
Yeah.
And it's so obvious how we did it. Everybody for the last year, everybody was like, yeah, now we're going to get peace and it's going to be so great. Whoa. I'm like, yeah. First time I saw that Trump from many years ago and I heard he was running for the president, I was like, this guy is going to be the new world order. He's the last trumpet and it's the 777. So this is the new shit. They're going to create everything from zero again. And it's the same guys that created this system, crashing their old system and building up this new system. And it's going to go all digital, man. All in on that. That is what is happening in the background now, what I can feel.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So now it's like bombing, war, fire. And underneath this, it's like something bigger is going on with this digital, biometrical, totally. The jail gets smaller and smaller for every day.
I think the reason why they're so hell-bent on this digital thing is because we know these people are all cowards. And this is the only way that they can maintain a sense of control without having to face us.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
That's their only hope, bro.
Yeah. You can see in Stockholm, I'm living out in the forest, in the countryside, but I've grown up in Stockholm, so I know that city. And I got a friend walking around with this, doing some live streams, talking about Stockholm and filming. And now it's into all of these Palantir cameras. And all of these cameras are connected to Palantir. So Stockholm is now in the beginning of making these 15-minute cities and stuff like that. And I used to go on the Fridays down to the locals here and take a sauna. It's like 15, 20 older men and talking. The hippest thing that you can buy today for fun is security cameras on your house at home with magnets on. So you can place them wherever you want, and you can go and check when you're working at work. You can sit on your mobile and check what's happening on your yard and in your garage, and to know blah blah blah. And they don't understand that shit is also connected to Palantir. Every single camera is connected to Palantir on your mobile phone.
You know what's crazy, Renegade? I'm going to be surprised if there's going to be cameras in woods and shit, like certain areas.
There already is, man.
Yeah, deer hunters use them.
Yeah, they use those cameras.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
They already have cameras out there. And then I saw another thing. They have a special drone. So if you own a wood place with loads of trees, you can be a landowner of that shit, you know. And I would like to count and see how many trees I have. They just send in a drone and they measure every single tree, how big it is, how tall it is, where it's standing, how much it weighs. And after a few hours, the drone get back with all the data in that square, in that wood.
That's wild.
Fucking A, man.
Talk about a surveillance state. Mm-hmm. What if people just start saying, fuck you, we ain't doing this shit no more?
They're just going to produce more drones. I don't know, man. We have to say stop to this, and we've done it. You know, as you and I've been friends for many years now. It's still going in the same cycles, man. Since the COVID, the plain Earth bullshit that we've been talking about. I mean, come on now. It's like, and we're still like a few hundred on each platform, blah blah blah. The rest is just running on the globe, on the deceived thing, taking the vaccines, eating everything they say on the mainstream media. It's like that's the truth. Social media is just a hippie gang style. No, you know. So, damn. Also.
What's up, Dom?
Can you hear me, Charles?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know how many veils you guys want to unveil right now, but let's play a game. You hear words like indoctrination and you hear about anchoring. Your senses, all of your senses, do you think they could easily be misled?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking at something that's being projected to you. You're sitting on the earth plane. You're looking at the sun. How do you know what the sun is actually made out of? Is it made out of material? Is it made out of material? Is that what we call reality? People don't realize how much they've been fucking manipulated. The fact that we're talking about it tells that we've been manipulated about it.
Yeah, yeah.
The music industry you guys talk about, who do you think gave you that tech? It wasn't humans. When you got the language, who do you think it gave it to it? Again, there's a system going on here, and they're actually just spinning it again because they understand the ages. But for most people, the only reason why they're complaining is because their senses are being bombarded. What you hear, what you smell, what you touch, what you see, it could easily be misled. The fact that people are openly talking about it, bitching and complaining, they really don't grasp it. It'll be like, okay, so now this thing called the software that people are calling AI, which is misleading because we're fucking artificial intelligent. We're the beings that have invaded the human race. So now knowing that, how many people could truly comprehend using a screwdriver? Some, not all. How many people would understand exactly how language came to be? Wouldn't know. But what people do when they get depressed, that's usually a spiritual awakening, is like, wake the fuck up. You're too busy being asleep pretending to be awake. Now, anyway, I shared a little bit. I hope you guys can have fun with it. At least toss it back and forth. But if you get upset about it, you've been anchored here.
Cool, man.
They give you little crumbs. Let's bitch and complain about the government. They're not the one that's running the show. Oh, what about the elites? They're not the one that's running the show.
Yeah,
we
that, man.
We the ones running the show, right?
Well, we have the energy. I'm with you in the roof. We're the ones. Our action in these human forms dictates what's going on with the clouds, whether people are aware of it or not. But what they do is they hear TV stories. They hear about written in a book. Now they're hearing something called a software. It might as well be my hammer in my tool pouch, and I'm talking to it. How many people would truly comprehend all of that, let alone be intuitive about it? But what they do is they anchor people with their thinking and their feelings. If you're getting caught up in your feelings, put it aside. If you're getting caught up in your reason, put it aside. If you can't, that means you've been anchored. Now, I could be full of shit, which I'm okay with, by the way. But for most people...
That is part of the programming.
Sure it is.
A lot of people, when you try to tell them something, they automatically defend.
They might, but who should you really be telling that to?
You're triggering, their feelings.
Yeah, maybe, but who should you really be telling that to? To them or to you?
To self.
There you go. You figured it out. And even that, the self. What is the self? That's the ongoing program. Dare not challenge it. Then you'll realize, well, then I'm not the program. There you go. You figured it out a little bit. So now you're having a human experience. Have fun with it. Be sad about it. Be clever about it. I don't know. Pick whatever emotion you want to play with. Again, bombarding us with TV, radio, literature written in a form and all that, that's just to anchor people down a little bit, only because they become attached to it. The governments are going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to say what they're going to say. No different, we're going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to say what we're going to say. Is there a war going on in other parts of the world? Does it really fucking matter if it is or isn't? It's a question. It's not because I'm saying I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, for the nice vibes and the good moods, I rather don't have any war at all.
Okay.
I mean, of course, I would like to feel how it is to have totally peace. But we've been slaves for generations.
If we're talking, we're not doing
bombarded
peace.
of war, and attack and war. And if there's no bullshit about that thing, then people are in debt.
That's why you get depressed, because you're attached with the vibes.
Course, but they want us to be depressed.
No, you want that. It's
no,
not them.
I don't want that. Man.
Okay, so knowing that, do you think suffering is based on people that are suffering with all wars, or is it because they're attached to all their comforts and pleasures? It's the attachment works when people say everything should be at peace. If we're going to be at peace, then we should.
I know what you mean, man.
No, I can
also feel. I can feel when it's raining and when it's sun outside. If you talk about depressed collective.
Well, people have to understand the energy of depression. There's the mental part of it, the emotional part of depression.
Of course it is, yeah.
But at that point, if you don't form any attachment, you be like water. Basically, don't get caught up in your emotion. You'll see it for what it is, regardless if it's good vibes, bad vibes. It just is. Again, at that point, you're in the moment. Now you're in the mind.
Yeah,
mind over
the
matter.
only thing there is present, man. So
yeah, I'm with you. Yeah,
yesterday's done, tomorrow never knows.
That's true. So tomorrow can never happen if you're always in the moment. But for a lot of us, what we do is we drag like a big fucking chain and ball, a lot of memories, both positive and negative. Fuck, I'm underneath the bridge, want to have my crack cocaine of happiness, let alone sadness. You know, I get
Blaze it up.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Indigo, you were going to share something, boss?
Yeah, I kind of lost the point.
I think you were going to say you didn't agree with something, but
about the suffering being caused from attachment and comforts.
Yes.
I have way less attachment and comforts right now, and I'm suffering more than I did when I had all the comforts and suffering. You know what I mean?
You can, and you might be the exception to the rule, but for most people, it's the attachment.
Yeah.
Attached to the mind. Now, again, if we're able, as the masses, to make the clouds move, can you imagine if you're the only person that's disattached and you're living around civilization? That person's going to be following the energy that's the strongest one there. That is why some people eventually leave and go in the forest. It's not because of what people are sharing with people openly. It's usually what they're not sharing privately, meaning that their energies, most people aren't honest with themselves. So forget about the people. Usually people that say the word truth, they're full of shit. Because if they're honest with themselves, why would you even say the word truth then? You're looking for accolation. You're looking for people to cult up with. But I get it. I'm with you, Intergroove and all that. But I don't mind having these conversations because I'm very well grounded. Most people aren't grounded. What they do is they want to use their imagination and they feed it aimlessly through the media. There's a war going on. There's a guy named Donald Trump. There's Putin. Oh, those are stories. Whether they're happening or not, the next question, how does it serve me to actually hear those stories as I'm watching a sci-fi movie or watching a Hallmark movie after that?
Well, I would just say this, like I've definitely noticed the effects of my family. That family dynamics and relationships have changed since this Trump thing came around. I mean, it started before that, obviously, but it's easy to say, oh, I just don't think about it and it don't affect me. Well, it does affect you if your family and your fucking neighbors and your community is all acting like weirdos over this weirdo shit.
I'm with you. But it will test somebody whether or not they have strong boundaries and they're grounded. It will be no different if all of a sudden tomorrow, think about what happened in China years ago. You're only allowed to have one child per family. Most people would probably privately be disgruntled about it. Very few of them would actually publicly talk about it. In America, they have this illusion. Anytime they use the word free, run, because you don't have nothing that's free. You have to use effort in everything you do in this realm. Nothing comes to me free. If I want the sun, I still got to go outside. But that's the condition they do. Oh, I have free will. No, you don't. I have free will. No, you don't. I have freedom of speech. No, you don't. What you have is a will. You can actually speak if you want, and you might get rewards for it. Not a punishment, a reward for speaking openly. And that's why they designed this public platform. You think COVID was a shit show. The fact that they actually gave us things like Zoom, Spotify, they just want to see what they're talking about. And once you roll out the credit system, then you'll see what the fuck they've really been after. They're not going to strike your channel down. They're going to say, listen, you know that thing that we did with the Amber Alert? Yeah, me and Intergroove are going to go buy some food, and all of a sudden we have bad credit. All of a sudden they start ringing, and everybody in the fucking same grocery store is going to be looking at us. Hey, there's a guy there. There's leprosy. There's leprosy. People don't got a fucking clue what's really going on. But they like to talk about it, like I am right now, because we've been fed this information. They're not using intuitive and comprehension skills. Then you realize, oh, then we're all full of shit. There you go. Even the elites are full of shit. The only difference is they're willing to at least live in comfort while they're in full of shit. And they're paying people to build their bridges, paying to build their high rises. Hey, who's going to give us the latest technology? Yeah, let's download a couple of them. Remember, we're called human beings for a reason. The human part's fucking expendable part. But what most people want... Go ahead, sorry, go ahead. Randy.
Yeah, I was watching a guy yesterday was moved out to the countryside out in the woods somewhere in the Rocky Mountains, and he was working for the U.S. government. So he knows about this electromagnetic pulse. So he actually built a small cabin with no electricity, a hand pump for the water, and blah, blah, blah. So he can move out there, because he was talking about maybe about the bomb you were showing on the dollar bill, Chuck, when you started the stream today. It's like that. This one comes from above, and it's taking all the computers down, everything out. They can do that now if they want. But why are they not doing it? Yeah, because they want us to watch the shit all the time. So what should actually happen if they close down all of the internet? It's just you and the guy besides you. Nothing more.
At the same time, Renegade, they're following energy. You just don't do things just because they want to do it. Most of us forget. We choose, or we get driven into civilization. Nature, the rest of the world is still doing what it's doing. If a person wants to have an earthly experience, take a chance out in the jungle. Take a chance out in the forest. But for most people, they'll go to major cities and go under their master's rulership and think, well, I don't agree with it. Well, then leave.
Yeah.
Most of us aren't, because we are attached to our comforts. Yeah. You know, how many people say, listen, would I give up my car? No, I wouldn't. What about giving up going to somebody else's grocery store? No, I wouldn't. So they're attached to their comforts. If they're going to be honest with themselves, I'm honest with myself. I don't mind it, because I realize
I'm 55, born 1971, and I'm one of the few people that don't even have a driver license. And I've been moving around, and I've been living up in north. I've been walking to the bus. I've been taking the train. I've been riding around. It's like it's never been a problem. Of course, it should be nice to have one, but still today, I've seen a world that mostly don't, because they are sitting in the fucking car all the day.
Okay, I get the car part,
Of course, it's nice to drive car, man. And yeah, of course, it's easiness to take you there and there. But if you take another path or the road,
I get it. Unless you're gonna do barefoot, you're still feeding the system.
I do that, man. Every summer, man.
Okay,
totally.
Well, my wife does it even in the wintertime. But the thing is, you don't have a car, but you did openly admit that you use a bus. You're still in the system.
Yeah, of course I have to. If something
you don't
happens,
have to. You choose to. There's the difference. You choose to.
It depends on where you live, also, man. I mean,
so at that point, you're not living off the grid. So the people that say
nobody lives off the grid today.
No, if there might be some people. They might be, but you're not going to find them here.
Maybe the homeless are more living off the grid than. It's not
there could be people living off the grid, even though that's a government term, where you would have to go deep in the jungle and then find somebody. Now, if he has a tent, I said no. You're still.
But I'm talking in the west countries. I mean, you can't hide in the woods anymore. You got the hunters. There's people everywhere. It's like living off grid. The police will come and just skip this camp. You're not allowed to be here. Get the fuck out of here.
Those people are living on the outskirts. I'm talking about if you go deep into the woods and the jungle. You would actually have to find somebody and say, listen, the reason I don't got a car or a tent is because I don't need it. I'm actually working with nature. But for most people, if you're using a plane, whether or not you own it or not, or you're using a train, you're in the system.
Of course I am. Yeah, but
we all
still.
Are. And if a person's honest with himself.
What I'm talking about is like 98% of the people still driving a car.
No, not really. Yeah. But again, it's kind of like somebody said, Dom, I don't watch TV, but yet they'll look at their cell phone. I said, you're still taking in information. You're still in this system. This is what I'm going to say. When people are honest with themselves, they realize, doesn't matter if it's the cop, the military, the government. You're still in the system.
I mean, you can't be off grid and have a mobile phone on you.
Yeah. So if we're forced to be in the system, then why should I be criticized if I got to complain about it?
You're allowed to complain about it. If you want to air your grievances and fill your boots, it's usually when people say, listen, but do you agree with me? And I'm not interested in, for me personally, I'm not interested in cult behavior, because I already try to work a way around religion and state. I know it still exists. So if you want to air your grievances, I'll gladly hear them.
Because it's really a matter of just basic intelligence of talking about this shit, because whether I'm talking about it from the perspective I'm at now, or whether somebody came along and put me, the head of the Department of Health or whatever, right? If I'm in RFK's job right now, I'm going to have my same analytical questioning going on.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so if I have the responsibility over the effects of that decision over other people, right? So
as long as you're aware in the group that you're talking to, probably more times than not, those people are NPC characters. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, they are. And I do agree that we have a lot of people here that are basically adult children or children in adult bodies, right? And they're still, they grew up from living in mommy and daddy's house. They got a nice job from the government that gave them a nice house, and they're the mommy and daddy, but their mama and daddy is still their job or this, the system, as you say.
What happens if you find out mommy and daddy are still children?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right?
So at that point, there's an old saying, live and let live, even though it's a tough one on the animals. If a person says, listen, Dom, I believe in conspiracy, okay, fill your boots. Who am I to judge them? See, but that's the thing. Most people don't either you're indifferent when you're judging or you judge fairly. For most people, what they do is they bring in and say, but I don't agree with that. I don't give a shit if you agree or disagree with me. Hear me out. That's the best a person can do is hear each other out. If a person likes to play rap, let them play rap. If a person likes to play country, let them play country. If you don't like their music, okay, go towards what you like. But again, this is where most of us have been conditioned with the conscious mind to judge things. And more times than not, we're doing it out of ignorance. I don't know how the government really works. And if I'm talking about, what government am I talking about? The American government? Fuck it, that only actually takes care of over 400 million people. That's a small fucking chump change. And then, unless you start, investigating, okay, so is that the empire? Probably. Have they crashed it? Probably. So what do they do now? Oh, probably moving on. Again, that's all speculation on my part. But when people usually say, I have the answer, I got some popcorn. Let me hear you out. Tell me your story. How do you think the government works? You honestly think it's Donald Trump? Probably not. This is where we get into these kind of conversations, which are fun to play with. But for other people, they come in, well, fuck, I don't agree with it. I said, so you've already voted. How many people go into conversation, they've already voted? I don't agree with the government, so you voted. So you're not really going to be impartial in this conversation now.
Well, that I agree with. If you don't agree with the government, you should not be voting because that legitimizes this.
Yes, but then at that point, they should be discussing why they don't agree with the government and what could they do to actually change if another government was going to be in place. But for most people, they're lazy. They figure if they give an X, and no different when people give a I agree or disagree, that's another version of saying, I have an X that I'm going to have to put somewhere. Oh, okay, so you have all the information yet first? Not really. Okay, so you're going based on your feelings. Okay, my next question is, are they developed? Well, not really, because we already have government people, humans that are running the country or whatever, and most of them are children, spoiled ones at that. Even if you had caring government, how would you actually attend to the masses that are fucking spoiled?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a much harder question to answer these days. And I think if we would have confronted this, right after 9/11 or during that time period, I think most of us were we were naive and innocent to a lot of this shit. I know I was a normie. I was a normie up until about 2007, 2008 is when I really trusted my intuition that it's like everything is upside down. I said, and you know what I mean? And
the intuitive part of you is probably saying they're going to start ramping it up because this shit was been done in the 1800s and the 1700s. It's like when people say make America great when it was fucking slaveries, when women couldn't vote. What the fuck are we talking about at that point? These are guys that are reading from scripts, business as usual for the people that are running the country. When people say shit, yeah, the police monitor help the people. Yeah, they're helping the nobles. They're not talking about the citizens. So 9/11 was this one little pebble in the stone. No different 9/11, COVID. These are just small little stories. No different when they did the moon landing as they're changing the oil reserve onto the currency. Or in 1920 when they're doing all that other stuff with the currency. They're doing the same thing now. They're just learning from things that didn't work as well back then. Most of us, whether you know it or not, in a group, we're the frog in the water.
Oh, I very easily recognize from my time in university psychology studies that I recognized immediately in 2020 that this was an unethical scientific experiment where we are not being told that we were part of an experiment.
Sure we are.
and it was a survey and data collection. And it was textbook. I just learned about this shit at a graduate school level 2 years prior, right? So I know exactly what I was seeing.
And did you try to present that to your parents? Did you try to present to your loved ones what you just kind of figured out?
Well, I had a grandma. Me and her used to butt heads, but she was my last parental figure, right? And she never bought any of the shit I said until she heard somebody on TV say it.
And then she said, aha, my grandson's been telling me all this the whole time.
Yeah. And
so you're planting seeds.
Yeah. I just plant these seeds, as you say. When I'm telling people that I know are skeptical about it, it's almost like the only hope we got is for these people who dig into their ego telling you, no, that's not going on. There's no pedo rings, right? And then when it's all over the place telling you, hey, there's a pedo ring out here, then the only hope or the only reward or the only consequence of us being crazy all these fucking years is for people to have their fucking ego shattered.
But then
where they got to finally look at themselves and say, oh, boy, I was shitty to a lot of people who were telling me what I needed to hear at the time.
And what would they do if they found out the pedo ring was just one layer of a distraction? And they said, it took me how many fucking months to fucking try to explain that to you? Again, most people are never going to have, most people are not going to have the ego death, the ego transformation. They're not.
Right.
They're going to be so stuck in their body, it's always about fight or flight. And now the ongoing program is not even going to die. In this case, not die death. So at that point, whether they talk about pedo rings, they talk about the elites, for most people, you got to bang into fucking rocks just to explain to them. And then they're going to say, well, I finally, I said I spent fucking months explaining that, and I got to shit more out of other stuff I could share with you. Get the fuck out of my face. Now, I'm sad to say that, but again, Andrew, I'm the kind of guy, I don't give a shit about the masses at all.
Yeah.
They clearly tell me what they're doing, and I participate in it. They drive their cars to work. They have fucking kids. It's always fun when a parent says, listen, I raised my kids. You did fuck all for them. What do you mean? You didn't teach them how to breathe, let alone fucking digest their food. So what the fuck have you done for them? You brought them to a schooling system as you were being indoctrinated at fucking work. Those are sleepers. Those are called goyams. They're called NPCs, regardless if they're your parents, your wife, your buddy. They're asleep. Leave them alone. Let live and let live. I wouldn't want somebody to say, listen, Dom, I'm a mean person. I'm going to change you. I'm a kind person. I'm going to change you. No, how about we just leave each other alone? I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt here that they want to share awareness. For most people, what they want to do is bitch and complain about the fucking government. And they're just one fucking small layer. And they get paid well for doing it. Some of them might actually be aware of what they're doing. That's called usually a psychopath. For most of them, it's all about them. So they're a narcissist at that point. The other ones are going to say, it's just a job. Those are sociopaths. You understand that in the group, but most people don't. What they're doing is they're just fucking parroting information that they've been fed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that's fine. That's fine. The system works that way. That COVID just revealed it. They should openly reveal to themselves, not to the masses. Masses are too busy being asleep. What they own. They own them. They own Mecca. They own the Vatican. But hey, we'll give the masses the gases, and they can keep pumping their fucking gas and touching everything and all that. And they'll go to our grocery stores. We'll tell them to put on a mask. We'll tell them to take a vaccine shot. But wait a second, didn't we give most of them a vaccine shot when they were children? Yeah, but we want another one to give it to them. But yet people think I'm awake because I didn't take a vaccine shot. But you still wear a fucking tie when you go to work, don't you? You fucking moron.
Man, who got fucking Dom going?
No, Charles, I haven't even started yet. Fuck Charles, I haven't started. I hear a lot of people fucking talk about fuck all, and they think they figured out the system when they don't even know they're in a system, and the system feeds off of us. Now, if you want to play with nature, go ahead, play with nature. It's there. Leave the fucking system. Leave all your fucking devices behind. Your cars, your fucking 8-track, whatever. Leave it here. Take your chance with nature. And you'll see how quickly, wait a second here. Why is the gate still open? Because most people would come back. That's what you're really up against. You're not up against the 2 or 3 people that are fucking talking on panels. You're up against the masses that are asleep till fucking no end. And that's fine. Because they don't cause me any grief. I'll usually be very polite. Let's talk about sports. Let's talk about the Kardashians. Okay, you want to talk about, you're a believer, so you're watching what's on TV talking about Donald Trump. So you got to be a believer. Why? Are you there? Are you literally seeing the bombs being fucking thrown? Well, I don't know, Dom. Well, there you go. So you're a believer then. You're worse than fucking religious people if you think religion's bad. Now, if a person can actually have that kind of conversation with himself and rip a fucking hole in himself, patch himself up and do it again, maybe they're starting something. Outside of that, just be clarified. Make sure you put on the back of your jersey, I'm an NPC character and I'm good at it.
I mean, at this point, people who are still like what we call asleep, it's just it's a fucking state of delusion, and it's disconnected from reality. I mean, it's the simplest way to put it. And then we could argue about, well, what is reality? And then we could have a fucking 3-week conversation about what is this thing called reality, right? And then we could twist ourselves in a pretzel and do all this mental gymnastics to try to make it make sense. But at the end of the day, bro, it's like, are we connected here or not? Are we here for a reason or not? And if it's no reason and we just here, then we might as well just be evolutionists, and we might as well just be pro big science, because that's our only purpose here, is to start somebody else.
True, I'm with you on that, Andrew.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are just conscious, especially in the age of information. Most people are going to become consciously ignorant. They can't use omniscient anymore. There's no way I could know. No, you got a cell phone, you have a laptop, you have TV, you have the radio. There's no more excuses anymore. People can't say, listen, I don't understand what's not written in that book. No, that information's there. So they'll become knowledgeable about it, but do they have discernment? Do they have understanding? Are they being intuitive? I love when I hear people that are very scholarly. Dom, I read it in a book. There you go. You read it in a book. Did you read it from left to right or right to left? Did you read it like a scroll form? Do you understand the marketing that's actually done on the right-hand page opposed to the left-hand page? Not really, Dom. So then what the fuck have you become aware of then? Now, I'm being clever when I'm saying that, because, I'm okay with this. I could be full of shit. I could literally be the adversary at that point to the conversation. I'm not the devil. And then most people, they'll quickly either attack or defend. I said, there you are. There you are. There's the looper. He's got to defend his position. Or they'll say shit like, Dom, I agree with you. Okay, what are you agreeing with? You're not living in my senses. You're not seeing it through my views. Hence the eye of the beholder. But as Renegade was saying earlier, the word peace, for me, is silence. How many of us are truly going to be silent about this? The Muslims, peace be upon you. What? Muhammad had to be fucking stupid enough, or at least dumb enough to keep quiet.
I just think peace is a natural byproduct of love, bro. You know what I mean?
It can be, but a bullet in the back of the head will give peace too.
Maybe. Right?
I say that jokingly, by the way.
Yeah. Or it could set off a riot, depending on where you at, you know.
So you guys,
in the politician's head would be awesome.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, Chuck. I have to leave, guys. Have a great day, man. And
ciao, Renegade.
Yeah, man.
Contact on Telegram
over there, man. Peace,
yeah,
always. Bro. Peace. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Have a great day,
man.
Renegade.
Yeah, I love you, man. Much love, Chuck.
Love you,
man. Peace, man. Peace.
For me, in the groove, when I like the word love, for me, it's when I breathe in and out. It's unconditional. It's offered to all living beings. That to me was love. I get when people say, "But I love my children." I say, "Well, that could actually be the energy of obligation and duty, unless you're loving somebody else's child." But even that, are you doing it just to prove a point that I can love other strangers? Maybe.
Well, I was watching a video last night. That is what the Bible says. These people that love the Bible so much, it tells you love your neighbor or a stranger as your brother.
I remember I told my girl I love her, and she fired back at me and says, "How do you love me? You don't even love yourself. You drink, you smoke weed," and that always stuck with me. I was like, damn. That was a big truth bomb right in my face. Boom.
Yeah, that could be said even with hate. If a person says, they hate you, I say, well, you don't even hate yourself. So you got to be like consistent, right? Like if you're really mistreating yourself, I would lean more towards healthy and unhealthy, but I get it. That's a valid statement what she said to you, Charles.
But it was true. It was so true. It hurt when she said it. That shit hurt.
What you do with it after. Either you're honest and say, listen, this is my plight. you know, I can respect somebody who says, listen, Dom, I'm an alcoholic and I'm okay with it. Okay, you're being honest. It's usually the one that says, you know something, Dom, I don't like drinking, but I can't give it up. I said, oh, okay, interesting.
So I haven't drank in 14 years.
No water or nothing?
Alcohol.
I know you're talking about, Charles.
I don't think I had a problem drinking. I just I don't know, I got tired of waking up with hangovers and shit, getting so fucked up.
Well, drinking is no different when people listen to the media. They'll consume it and realize they feed off of it. Our dopamine hit. I do it too, whether it's doing this or when I used to get caught up playing video games. You know, anything we can become dependent or addicted to. Gambling is one of the major ones now.
Sex.
I have to get me a controller talking about video games. I got a PS2. I just want to check it out. And I got a Xbox One. I got to get a controller and see if it works. It turns on. I got it in the garbage, believe it or not. The Xbox One was on top of a garbage can, and I snatched it up. And it works. It turns on. It plays. There's already a game in it.
Again, a lot of the stuff that are given to us openly by, well, let's say the government, even though it's being monitored, it's usually being given to us by the corporations, the elites, and the government just monitor it. Weed, video games, porn. That's just to distract us. Sports. It's basically the Coliseum all over again.
Porn. Why do they call it porn? What the fuck? Porn?
Because maybe somebody's horn.
Yeah, I was thinking porn's close to horn. And then why do they say that horny? What?
Same idea.
Horny.
Little horn.
Maybe because the animals clash their horns when they're fighting to breed. I don't fucking know. Horny. We don't have horn.
A lot of stuff that we consume probably is not healthy for us per se, whether mentally, emotionally. But it's presented, and it comes so easy. It's so easy accessible. It's kind of like going to a drive-through. I know the food's unhealthy, but it's convenient, and it's like I can just go right there, and I have a piece of paper that they've decided that I have to work for. It's a good system if you're looking at it from the business aspect of it. To a point, if it's such a great system,
could be fair. It could be fair and it could work, but unfortunately, the people that are in it are not fair at all.
Charles, you can have the few. It could be maybe millions of people that are trying to make people aware of the unfairness, and the millions that are going to say, listen, we're the one that's going to monitor it. It's the masses you're going to always have an issue with.
It's never going to change because people don't realize it's up to us to change it.
But that's kind of erroneous, Charles, because how did we all get cell phones if we value the concept that there's no change? Change can't happen.
I don't like when people say that, bro. Like, nothing's gonna happen. It's never gonna change. As much as we talk about speaking things into existence and the nature, like we don't even say good morning. We got to say grand rising. But yet everybody comes out and says, "Oh, nothing's gonna change. It's all hopeless." That's what I don't like, bro. It's like
so true. Yep.
Let's talk about it. Let's call it. Let's talk about what we observe and how we feel about it. And then at the same, but we gotta have the point.
We've been talking about it. Tell me something that's changed.
Come on, cell phones.
Well, my life's changed. Yeah. My life's changed, bro. I used to live the fucking highlight. I had a nice house and a nice subdivision and fucking driving a BMW, working at the fucking local college university on a state job in IT. Okay, I've been fucking in different places.
Better or the worse?
It's worse now. Well, after 2020, but when I got here, it was better because I had more control over my survival means, if you will. Like, I bought my house, I bought my land. I don't buy things on credit, right? I was trying to grow my own food.
So yeah, you're good then. You got land.
It changed me.
You're all set, bro. That's good.
Well, but now I'm blind and disabled, so.
But you have to break it down, Charles, because you said nothing ever changes. But then you brought in if it's good or bad. That's a different question all by itself. Change always occurs, always. So if you're talking just about change, I'm with you. But if you're talking about if it's healthy, unhealthy, right and wrong, that's a different kind of conversation. At that point, you're inviting in cult behavior. You know, if I want to talk about religion is one thing, but if a person says, "No, but I'm a Christian," I'm like, okay, so I was talking about religion. Why do you feel as though you need to tell me you're a Christian? It's like if I'm talking about health, I don't need somebody to say, "Well, I'm a doctor."
Episcopalian.
I'm Episcopalian. You could be. You could be.
Episcopalian.
Yeah. You could be.
Whatever the fuck that is.
I think you eat fish.
Oh.
You know, again, that's when you become more the observer.
I thought it was a religion. That's funny. I thought.
Well, that's what's fucked up about it. Like Christians, they'll tell you, "I'm a Christian," right? But if you say, "Well, I'm a child of God too," they get fucking weird about it.
Yeah, because they're looking to cult up. If somebody says, "I'm a Christian," and then you say, "I'm a Satanist," are they going to give you the same respect that they're expecting from them? You know why? You know, again, that's called grandstanding or name dropping. It's like me and you in the groove are talking about health, and all of a sudden somebody says, "Dom, I'm a doctor." I said, "Okay, we're talking about health. I don't. Why you want to think just because you're a doctor you're going to outstomp me in the groove? No, we're talking about health. I don't need to have some sort of degree, because if that's the case, then I said, okay, so you went to university for 3 or 4 years. How many degrees did you get in those 3 or 4 years? And are you indoctrinated? Probably. Are you a chemist? No, but you promote pharmaceutical. At that point, I'm like, okay, please do me a favor. Humble yourself as a human and know enough to hear other people. Unless you're going to engage in the conversation, a lot of people, hence, peace be upon them, be silent, because there could be in the presence of people that can share some information and then they choose to be the fool to talk out loud. Usually, anything I have to say, I should be able to mute myself because it's really not that important. It's usually the ones that say, Dom, I have something really important to say. I said, okay, do you have to go to the bathroom? Is that why you're getting all anxious? Do you drink a lot of pop or something? And especially when they start sharing information, I said, did you get it like we did? Did you get it in a book form? Was it hearsay? Well, I heard it from NASA. Okay, that ought to be interesting. I heard it because the pharmaceutical told me. Okay, this ought to be interesting. But do you have any personal proof for yourself? Because, some people want to make sure they have personal proof. No, I have observation. Okay. At that point, we're having a conversation with people, whether it's speculation or not. But when somebody's trying to prove a point, I'm like, okay, so should I get some stars out? Because once you prove a point, I'll give you a star. But there's so many other points to talk about at this point. At this point, as I say the word at this point.
Look at this picture. I just noticed there's a face in the rocks in the back. I was too busy focused on these 4 things, these beings, or whatever the hell they are. It's a good painting, though. Pretty cool.
Cheers, one, Charles. We live in Canada and North America, okay? We have a thing that's supposed to be under the guise of democracy. But it's a capitalist system, nevertheless. If we lived in a communist system, and people say, I don't agree with communism, but isn't all the work here in your country?
No. From what I see, communism countries like Russia, they seem to be doing pretty goddamn good. Better than America, but whatever.
Well, the economy of America is slowly crashing. And it's done on purpose.
Yeah.
They're not doing that by accident. They're doing it on purpose. It's like any empire. It has to move. But people get comfortable thinking, like in Rome. I'm pretty sure the Romans say, Rome will never collapse. Well, the same people that structured it are the same people that are going to destroy it. And then they moved from Rome supposedly to Yorkshire, England. They set up the empire in Britain, and then they went to America. And what did they do after that?
Let me ask you a question, Dom, real quick. In London, what's that place in London that has its own? It's sort of like the Vatican, but it's in London.
The 1 mile of banking. It's all banking.
It's called
there you go.
It's called the City of London, I think, is officially the name of it. City of London.
Yeah.
Well, it has to do with the banking. Dom hit it right on the head.
Yeah, but the City of London is like a district within the bigger London.
Yeah.
Okay.
Intergroup's putting a name to it. Yes.
I believe that's the distinction, though. It's actually City of London.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Which is a good study if people want to learn about the banking system, how arbitrage works and all that, and how they use the stock market and all that. No different in Singapore and all that. These are business that the rich families, the elites, whatever you want to call them, nobles, they do that on a constant basis. And it's in plain sight. They're not hiding anything. You know, it's just people think, yeah, but Dom, but I don't agree. I said, there's the problem. Your feelings are caught up in it. That's why they play a thing called the gentleman's game. They don't get caught up in how it's going to turn out, especially if they can manipulate or maneuver around it. They're planning for long-term generational stuff. Most of us are a puppy mill mentality. We're just trying to think, do I survive for today?
Well, they already destroyed my generational line, so all I got left to do is to fucking punch them in the face as best I can. You know what I mean?
Get a plank, get a piece of wood, get a bunch of them at the same time in the roof.
Yeah. Put some nails in that wood.
I'm gonna get a paddle and I'm gonna fucking drill holes in it.
Nails and razors on it.
Be like,
remember that shit? Did they do that in y'all's high school? The paddle, they put holes in it to make it.
That was shit. To this day, I still question that. Like, my brother's a teacher. I said, let me understand this, Luch. Principals were given authority for students to go down into the office, and then they would use the belt or the paddle. Get the fuck out of here.
My mother went through that. Catholic school, that was my mom. Tell me about that. I said, damn, I'd have punched that nun in her fucking eye.
Yeah, they would have probably disciplined you, Charles, even though you're probably in the right to listen. Nobody has that right to do that to me. But again, that's NPC characters. Whoever the ones that are running the show, we're never going to get to them because they pay people way before all of that. The police, the governments, principals, anybody really. You could name anybody.
Trump, when he goes to play golf, you can't even get on the. It's so secure, like that. It's insane the way that's why the so-called assassination of him raised a lot of questions because
that's staged.
There's so much security. How the fuck?
No, Charles. The thing is, a guy like him, Donald Trump, he's selected in his role. The people that are really running the show aren't even there, so they give the illusion. Let them get the masses to protect the world leader of the world. No, he's not the world leader. He's a puppet at best. No different so is Putin. I wouldn't even be surprised. King Charles is another puppet.
Yeah.
You know, these you have
How
to have.
dare him have my name, Charles? He must stop using it. You notice everyone with the name Charles, you got Charles Manson, King Charles, all these fucked up people got my name. It's fucking crazy.
You got
negative
name.
people.
You got actually. I should check out what the energy of Charles is. You know, because usually there's a reason why we all have names. But, but again, these leaders are they really leaders? And for who?
No.
You know, they don't represent me, you, and Intergroup.
Well, they're leaders of the agenda, right?
No. Yes.
Yeah, that's what they represent.
Yeah. An agenda that
leading people to the chopping block.
Yeah. Like Intergroup would know because he's done a lot of studying and all that. There's focus groups. They actually pay money to a lot of people to understand how do we actually herd the masses. Same with marketing. You know, you
I think everybody here has done a lot of research, pretty much.
Once you become aware of it, and then realize when you turn towards the masses, oh fuck, I'm not taking my chances with them. I would not expect them. You know, even when they have like Black Lives Matter, for example, I'll just use that as an example. They got to stage that. They literally got to promote it. They got to get somebody to pay somebody to actually, the police to be there. Most people there, they're just going there for a party. It could be a feminist fucking rally, as far as I'm concerned at that point. But the ones that truly agree with what they're trying to fight for, they're small in numbers. Like what they did with, what's his name, Malcolm X and all that. Yeah, make them all go to the White House so we can find all the people that are underground. Let's bring the 5%ers there. So now we know who they are. That's like advertising. Anybody that does graffiti, we'll pay you. Come downtown, come downtown so we know exactly who you are now. Come on.
Did you ever see the thing, Dom, with the 369? I forgot how the guy did it, man. He had it like this, and then with the 369, he did some shit where he's adding these numbers up. Anyway, I gotta find the video. It was interesting how we did that with the
When you're
369.
when you're using the denomination of threes, you'll get your 369s. 111, 222, 333, 444, 666. That'll give you a 369. Now it's when you start using the acronyms of 4 or the acronyms of 2s that changes. So again, we're in a three-dimensional realm, so threes would make sense. That's why they use like CIA, KGB, threes.
Because he was saying, who did the 369? That was Tesla, right?
So they say. So they say.
The guy was talking about 369 is the answer to the universe or something. I don't remember exactly. I don't want to misquote. I forgot the guy's name anyway. There's some video I seen. In the way he did the math, I'll find it and show you.
Okay, so they'll say words, but we should test that. Okay, outside of the 369, what is the universe? Then we have to play with definitions. It sounds nice when people say it's the answer or whatever to the universe, because most people are looking for answers opposed to clarity. So what does it mean?
I didn't say it.
No, I know you didn't. I know. Well, it's hearsay. We're just ping-ponging.
We don't even know if Tesla is a real guy.
That's true. It's like Jesus. Whether he did or not, what's the teachings? What was left? What was the written work? So we can ping-pong those ideals, because it's a belief system at that point. But for a lot of people, they want to say, listen, I'm going to treat Jesus like I treat Tesla. Okay, so they both don't serve you. So how does it work for you? Unless there's some teachings involved. No different if I use the word Socrates. What's the philosophy? Forget about Socrates, Plato, Kant. What's the philosophy? What did they speak out loud that I can actually use it for some tangible reason, if I'm going to use reason?
Socratic ignorance for me, bro.
It is. Yeah, this is why I say it's cult-like behavior. When somebody said, I'm a Christian, I said, okay, you just revealed that you're in a cult. That's fine. Tell me when you're done. No different. Somebody's done. I'm a nationalist. I'm an American. Okay, so you're in another cult. Okay, carry on. I believe in flat Earth. Okay, another cult. Continue. Tell me when you guys are done. When you're no longer in a cult.
Everything people cult up.
They do. So at that point,
selling drugs, you're culting up with people to make money.
Well, no, you're culting up with people. You say, if you think drug is good for you, I say, okay, there's medicine and there's drugs. And even that, you can break it down. Does that medicine work for Indigroove as much as it works for me, or let alone to Charles? Again, we have to start breaking it down. We should use all the dogmas at that point. But for a lot of people, they want to do divide and conquer. I don't agree with religion. Okay, that's nice. Is it religion you don't agree with, or human behaviors? I would lean more towards human behaviors, because human behavior usually overrules most things, whether it's governments, whether it's science or religion. And then most people in a public platform will put on their personas, their mask. As a lot of people come on YouTube with an alias name, that's another persona. But yet, Dom, I want to have a personal conversation, but I don't even know who you are. Can I look you up and look for some public information on you? Oh, I don't want you to do that. I said, well, then how can we have a personal conversation then? Again, that's why I say most people aren't honest with themselves, but yet they want to be honest with others. There's the fun part. It goes back to your girlfriend saying to you, Charles, or your girlfriend that you used to date, how can you love me if you can't even love yourself? How can you be honest with others if a person's not even honest with themselves?
The middle pillar's crown shit. What?
You're gonna join masonry now with the middle pillar?
No, it says the middle on the bottom. I was like, what? It says the middle pillar is crowned with shin. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that word shin means something. I heard something about
shin
that.
In Hebrew means lack of knowledge, but
yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's where I heard it from. Something about it having to do with sin and ignorance. Yep.
Yeah, they were saying in the Bible they translated it wrong. That you're born into shin with the lack of knowledge. Now that makes way more sense than born into sin. Like, I was just born. How am I born and I'm already fucking getting penalized? I used to be like, what? Born into sin. Like, damn, a baby has no sin. A baby's pure when it's born.
How do we know? How do we know a baby's pure? Especially you value reincarnation. How do we know? That child could have been a hideous fucking criminal. Who knows?
No.
Well, it could, but also at the same time, then we come back, and this is a fundamental discussion that happens in academic psychology. It's the big argument about nature versus nurture.
Yep.
And they're still not 100% sure which way that organized institutional psychology feels about it. They probably lean more to the nature, but nurture can have some effects. Right, that's their official position, as it was told to me.
Yeah, that's the sad part of Negro. That's like when people go back and forth with free will opposed to determinism. Give them either or and let them fight it. Opposed to, wait a second, what happens if I have many different views? It's like the half glass, half full. I said, listen, I don't want to be narrowed down to half full, half empty. How about I start talking about everything else? The table, the painting, what's in the water. But most of those indoctrination, they don't want that. They want to give you two choices, and they want you to willingly pick a side.
Mm-hmm.
Black or white, zeros and ones. What about all the other numbers? What about all the other shades and colors? No, that's all for, go ahead, tell me openly. That's for all the NPC characters.
You hear that? Can y'all hear that?
No.
That was a military helicopter. That shit was shaking my fucking building.
Sweet.
I think I did hear it then for a second.
You want to fly? You want to fly one, Charles? Just for fun?
Nah, I'm all right.
Now, I get a lot of things can be used to the detriments of humans, but at the same time, it can also be used for fun, whether it's drones, a gun. I get it. Most people will say, listen, gun is, people shouldn't have guns. I say, well, it depends. For what purpose? Are they trying to do an honorable kill on an animal? Maybe that might bring value. A tank, I can't see why you would need a tank in the human race unless you're just trying to kill each other. You're not going to, you're going to blow a buffalo with a tank? But again, it's one of those things. Why do humans spend so much energy and resources on war? Unless it's onto ourselves. And
Tommy said, what echo chamber are you in when everything's controlled?
Well, controlled or manipulated, yeah. But we have to believe in control. I would lean more towards manipulation. I can easily manipulate myself. If I really think I can control myself, well, then my question is, how long can I hold my breath for? 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the most. I think control is more of an illusion, but I think maybe most things are an illusion. But which one can serve me at that moment?
You gonna watch the game tonight, Dom?
Who's playing?
Connecticut and Michigan for the championship.
Well, it'd be nice if Connecticut won, but women took a sad beating.
Yeah, they weren't hungry, and I think they partied too much. They were playing like shit.
Again,
I thought they were gonna win the whole thing.
They should have been undefeated, but that's what happens. But hey, the purpose is we get to watch our Coliseum games.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like especially ever since this war popped off.
Yeah,
I've been engaging in my normie fucking NPC sports.
Good for you. Yeah.
Material. I'm like, fuck. I'm tired of hearing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it football you're following into Groove?
Yeah, I'm a Saints fan, bro. New Orleans Saints. That's
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's no different than us smoking weed or somebody watching sports. It's a way to sedate ourselves.
Yeah.
I like to just say I appreciate it.
Me off. You're supposed to bring me weed 2 days ago, and I still haven't heard. Piece of shit. Fuck it. I look at it like this. It's a sign, man. Fuck it. I don't need to smoke. Oh well. It ain't a big deal. It was.
No, there's no saying pick your poison, whatever it may be. It could be food. Like for me, I've kind of toned down a little bit, but when I used to get into these kind of conversations, I found myself emotionally eating after.
Yeah, mine's ice cream. I'm trying to chill. I love ice cream, but I don't even know if it's real ice cream anymore with all the shit they add into it.
But I'm with you in the groove. It's a break to watch the normie stuff. I'm a normie.
That's why I watch sports. It's the only,
But I'm not buying jerseys. I'm not paying hundreds of dollars for fucking tickets. You know what I mean? I'm not that far off with it.
At that point, we're feeding the corporation even more. But again, me and Charles have talked about it. We watch TV series.
I got like 12 jerseys from like a long time ago.
Hey, but did you buy them from the official store, or you got one of those knockoff Chinese jerseys from
They're
eBay?
probably all coming. Jay, we probably know they're all coming from the same place.
Well, 3 of them were given to me, and 4 or 5 are given to me. I mean, I might have bought 2 of them. My Red Sox jersey I bought is a Papelbon jersey. They're all old, and
well, the irony is, like, if you want to buy an NFL football jersey, an official jersey, right?
They're
officially licensed. You go and you got to pay, like, even for the basic cheap one, it's over $100, right? But they're made in China.
They're like
They're all made in the same place in the group.
Yeah, exactly. So
they've talked about it. Same with Mercedes.
I'll take the knockoff. I'll take a knockoff.
Yeah. I got more respect for people that buy the knockoffs, bro. Like,
I was watching a guy talking recently about Costco. A lot of the no-name brands in Costco, right beside them, have the name brand because they're doing this. They're making those no-name brands.
Yeah, right. In China, they make the bootlegs and the real Nikes. Nike sells both.
Yeah.
I found this out. I said, holy shit. It blew my mind. I said, no way. Nike makes the knockoffs, the fake Nikes and the real ones. I said, no way. That's crazy.
It's kind of like
smart at the same time.
Well, that's where we're at. It's kind of like when people go to the gas station, because we have a lot of digital stuff in our cars and they're controlling all the like oxygen, all that. It makes no sense to go to a regular, like when you go to a gas station and then you buy Supra. You're paying more money for basically a car that actually does the same thing with both of that fuel. Again, that's how we get conditioned.
Dom, I got a question, man. What do you think is on this boat here? What are those orbs? Like I thought it'd be the sun, but there's not 2 suns. It's on either end, like some technology or some shit. And then look at the guy in the center. He's got a fucking serpent over him.
I told you.
You got the beetle bug there, the ship beetle. I forgot the what are they? The dung beetle.
A lot of times when you see things like that, it's like when you look at Chinese writing, there's a story being told. Unless you know somebody that can decipher each of those characters and why they're in those positions, I can only guess. Maybe the sun.
You got Thoth. I see Thoth.
Yeah.
The first guy.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest. Thoth.
But once again, Charles, I think that's a story being written there. I can't decipher it.
Yeah. Let me give you another example, dude. If you went into a record store and started looking at album covers.
Oh yes, love them.
Could you imagine if people
love doing that, man? That's what I miss. I miss being able to go buy the fucking look at all the producers and the thing. You open it up. Those are
right. But imagine hundreds or 1,000 years from now, people find all these album covers and they start looking at them, and they're looking at them like we look at these hieroglyphics.
Yes, I'm with you on that.
And then they try, there's some weird shit on album covers, right?
Especially when people find out. Like I remember that I used to follow Kiss. They didn't have a say in the album cover. That was done by the organization. So there could have been messages in those albums that we don't understand, but they're passing messages to each other. Who knows?
And the music videos are done by somebody different. The band don't do the music videos.
That's right. And some of them don't even write their own songs.
Right.
So basically, more times than not, most of those bands that are up there, like a band like Kiss or Cheap Trick and all that back in the day, they could be no different like a Backstreet Boy. They put a whole bunch of people together like they did with the Beatles.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and they all come from certain families too. When you start looking at
family, military family, yeah, very much so. Eventually, it's like I have to know somebody to get into the industry. Oh, okay.
I explained to my friend. I said, I talked to my friends about how music, changes your molecular structure and how, like, even when you watch a movie, how it'll make you cry. It's the sound. Now, if you turn the sound off, you won't cry watching it. Or I explained to him, I said, you see heavy metal music, these people jumping around and fucking punching each other and shit. I said, well, if you look at under a microscope, I guarantee you it's doing the same thing on a molecular level, on a micro level. That's why they're jumping around like that. Well, I was just going to say they're reacting. It's
Like
reacting the same way in micro and macro.
when you interview people like that, though, when you interview people who like this mosh pit type of thing, they always say that or why they like doing it, what causes them to do it, blah blah blah. Yeah, the music is part of it, obviously, but internally they always say that it's a release for them. It's basically that they came into the concert, if you will, frustrated inside already, and they were just given something that allowed them to release that in a socially acceptable way, right?
True.
Because I doubt very seriously, but maybe this might be a extreme example, but if you take your grandma to a rock concert, you know, unless she's really fucking frustrated, I don't think she's just the music's just gonna make her want to run into the mosh pit, right?
No, they're not. Usually what happens is like mantras. People already listen to most of that music through like an album or a cassette player, and they've already been trained to it. So when they go now to a concert, it's a bigger environment now. So they've already been entrained before they even gone to the concert. So your grandmother probably, unless she would have been listening to that music on a regular basis, she's not going to be entrained to it.
That was a good point in the groove about the grandmother.
Well, because she hasn't heard it before.
It's like never know. We need to get a grandmother and test this.
It's kind of like when you're talking about movies and that music. I had a buddy of mine, one of his work colleagues, he did jingles for commercials. So think about that concept, where people are looking at a marketing done like through a commercial, but the subconscious is picking up all that jingle going on and being entrained at the same time.
Well, you know what? Now that you mentioned that, does anybody else find it kind of, I don't know, cringy, weird, scary maybe even, that all these, you know, with this AI, everybody's making, you know, AI songs and AI videos and they can add their own. Why do they all sound like twisted nursery rhyme type music? Right? It's all like, it's very weird with it's very childlike.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like these jingles.
I appreciate the jingles, for sure. And maybe they've done enough focus group and said that's probably the easier market to target, and we'll probably put them under that spell quicker with those types of, like you said, the cringy kind of, through that kind of stuff.
Well, I think it's what it's doing is, again, like we talked about earlier, I think it's tapping into these children in adult bodies mentality.
Yes.
You know?
No, to be like childlike, having like an awe, like aha, like everything's like wondrous to them, is great. But for a lot of them, they've been conditioned children. It's like a child that never had a chance to have that exploration, and they've been conditioned by parents to say, no, you got to be disciplined, you got to do that. It's kind of like tightening the guitar 2-string, like really tight. So for a lot of people, what they've done is they've followed these dogmas, never being able to question them. It's kind of like the software that people call AI. It cannot be artificial intelligence until it's able to question things, be able to eat an apple, be able to see how it feels to have a sunset. Not even close. We're that. I find it insulting when I hear people say over and over again, that's artificial intelligence. I said, so are we going to call a record player artificial intelligent? Are we going to call a car artificial intelligent? We're the artificial intelligent. I'm talking about the being part. The human part, it's an animal part. You know, we're able in these forms to build bridges. We're able to build instruments, play instruments. That is something that a human's going to go out and get a force and start beating a bongo or whatever. That could be the beginning of evolution. I don't know. Like I said, I find that very, if I can use what you used earlier, cringy.
And that's another trick of the language that they're using. Even calling it artificial intelligence. When we say that term, most of the time what we talk about as far as like our problem with it is the fact that what they're really trying to sell us is artificial cognition or the ability to have artificial cognition within a machine.
Yes.
Because intelligence is just information.
I'm with you on that.
So by calling something artificial intelligence, you're kind of already calling it fake information.
Yeah. In that sense, what you're talking is like we're using artificial intelligence, like language, for example. We're using it. You know, that thing can mimic it, It's always fun when I hear it say to me, it's doing human language. No, you're using the language that humans use. It's no different if it actually imitates a dog. It's imitating the sound that a dog makes. But again, if I push hard enough on it, I know it's a software I'm talking
right.
to, but it's been programmed. It will eventually say, no, I'm a software. It's not artificial intelligence. But you got to push over and over again, and then of course it'll just go back to its old setting and say things like, I'm artificial intelligent. Okay, whatever.
Well, it may not be, but it is, because the information that it presents is not. Even a picture, right? If you take a picture with a digital camera and you upload it to a computer and then it displays it, what you're seeing is 2 or 3 different forms of language going on in there for you to see that same image.
True.
Right? Yeah. The image you see is the computer's explanation. Right? You gave it information and it has to code that into these pixels. And all the pixels together form this image. But to the computer, which, nowadays we're kind of beyond that with like Google Lens and facial recognition, they're able to back engineer what they've already created with the artificial images to begin with. But yeah, it is artificial intelligence because it's fake information, no matter how it comes out, because it has to be processed through what? Computer language.
Mm-hmm. It's
so at least, like if I'm a human, right, and I just meet, a random person and we have a conversation, if at the end of the conversation I say, hey, I love you, or I respect you, like I could tell Charles, I love you, bro. Does that mean I want to fuck Charles? No. It means I have a respect for another person, right? So in that sense, the nuance with language is what makes it human, because of the intentions.
Mm-hmm.
That's the newer generation.
Even if the words themselves are contrived.
They'll be like, pause.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. I'm like, come on, bro, we over that already. But you see how quickly?
Why are they thinking gay though? Why are they always got gay thoughts?
Yeah, and look how easily they picked up on a social trend and they repeated it like parrots.
Again, because they limit themselves to the usage of language. So for you, when you're talking about Charles, that's brotherly love. But when a person uses the word gay, I would ask for clarity. Are you talking about gay like happy, or are you talking about homosexual? At that point, the person's telling you, especially if people understand chakras, he's talking from a very lower chakra. He's not talking from an intuitive, he's not talking from maybe the heart. He's talking from a very low grade, and that's been entrained in a lot of people. It's all about the reproduction part. Go out there and fuck. Reproduce more, okay? We don't want you to we want you to keep fucking each other, but don't reproduce, so we'll give you the birth control pill. Again, that's low grade stuff, and again, at that point, that should give you an indication. I'm talking to an NPC. There you go. No offense to them. I'm just saying that inside with myself. I know I'm being clever right now, but I also participate in being an NPC. I enjoy doing it once in a while. It keeps my sanity going.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it should always be interesting, at least, Charles, to a certain point.
I mean, I think we can choose to be NPCs. Yes. I don't know. I can only speak from my internal compass. I was born with this. I don't know if it's a drive, ability. I don't know what it is, but when I'm analyzing something and I'm pointing out certain flaws or conflicts about it that aren't being addressed, that comes naturally to me. Mm-hmm. Almost like it was born in me to do, right? So for me to do anything other than that would make me an NPC.
Yes. You probably have what some people call a double-edged sword. You have a blessing and a curse in the group. You have an ability, you've honed in on it, but for most people, they say, I don't get into groove. I said, that's not your responsibility. Just hear him out. He's sharing things with you. No different. Some people are born with a musical ear. Are we to denounce them and curse them by saying, well, I don't believe in that? I said, well, that's not about you to believe it or not. He's showing you that he has an ear.
Through his works, yes.
Yes.
And that's why through my works, people should be able to say, hey, he does have a unique background to speak on certain topics that he chooses to speak about. I'm going to at least Not ignoring like he's a fucking weirdo, crazy person.
That could be a compliment, by the way, in a group. If somebody calls you
Yeah.
crazy among the normies, that could be a compliment.
And look, I'm very introverted. I've been alone most of my life, but I love people, bro. I love social cohesion. It's fascinating to me how, you know, like when you go to a club or a concert, we talk about the negative. Oh, it's a ritual. It's just but yeah, at the same time, it's a room full of people at a certain point in that time, no matter what backgrounds we all come from, we all unite around a singular focus and idea of enjoying something together.
That's right. That's a good
And that's what I liked about sports, right? It wasn't about beating other teams. It was about the social inclusion of it all, right?
Yeah. Well, those guys that are playing, or women, they're showing that they're doing a craft. It'd be no different if you went to a concert and you got to hang out with the guys that are playing the music or participating. You know, like I recently hang out with a bunch of buddies that go to the casino. I'm not a gambler per se, but I like to interact. I like to hear the regulars, what they do, what they don't do. Even though I know the casino to a certain point is somewhat manipulated, but it's still fun to, you know, participate. You know, I'm not going to go out and say, listen, the casino should all be banned. No, it's part of the human experience. Who am I to tell other people what they can and cannot do?
Yeah. Well, if we all had that attitude, I don't think we'd be in war, right?
Well, even that too, you know, for some people, they live in desperate times, and they figure my only way out of my small town is if I go and become a military person. And then there's everything to a certain point is business. You know that, Intergroove, whether we agree or disagree with those positions. But war is a big business, a very big business, and it fuels a lot of people. To a point, the GDP is based on that, some of that, because if people come back and they're dead, we're going to still make money off of them. You're going to have cremation, you're going to have a funeral plot. What do you want?
It's expensive to die nowadays.
It's expensive to be born too, Charles.
Yeah. My friend that owns the store said it was $12,000 for him to get a spot in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's business from beginning to end. The taxation is just in the middle. You know.
Legal extortion.
Not to say that I've done well for myself financially. No, I just get by. I decided not to fully participate in the system on a regular basis, but I still do have to participate in it. If I eventually have to pay rent, I got to go to work. If I want to go to a grocery store and I want to buy food, I have to get that thing called piece of paper. You know what I mean? I don't play lotteries. You know, that's people's cheaper way of getting out. But if they like to play lottery tickets, I'll ask questions. So why do you buy tickets? How does it work? Even though I know how they work, just to, you know, have a conversation with them. That's why I said at that point I'm being clever, because I already know why I would do it and why I wouldn't do it. But for other people, I'll hear them out. That's the best we could do with each other when we hear each other out. By agreeing or disagreeing with each other, it's kind of fruitless, because I'm realizing, okay, I studied myself quite well, so therefore I can assume other people might, or some people participate like I do. But outside of that, best thing I could do is ask them.
Yeah, it's like he's mentioning system and lottery, and basically, you know, if you want to pay rent or you want to eat or whatever, you got to go to work. I think that's why the stock market is so popular as an option, because you know, if you don't want to go to a casino, what better place to gamble and pay your rent than investing in this shit show? And I do think that is a way that they have subverted people's morality.
Mm-hmm.
Is through the stock market, because it's like, hey, yeah, it's shitty. People are dying overseas, but check out your 401k right now. It's looking pretty good, ain't it?
You got it, Intergroove. Yeah, most people don't realize they're participating in the system by having a 401k that actually fuels probably the pharmaceutical industry, the military industry. But I didn't know. I said, okay, so you were unaware that it was going on, but you were participating still, you know, directly or indirectly. You know, it's like now the price of gas throughout the world's going up. In the old days, they would say, listen, we have to increase taxes to fuel the wars, because the rich people that had made the initial investment, they want their money back. So now with the price of gas going up everywhere, what do you think that's really going on? They're fueling the war with that money that everybody's paying way more money now.
Trump wanted $200 billion, I think, for the war, some shit like that.
That's right. 200 billion. He says
insane.
200 billion, but it's probably more.
Yeah, but in this past November, they couldn't get. I didn't get food stamps because they didn't have $2 billion.
You're
Now all of a sudden we got 200 billion.
Yeah,
You didn't get no food stamps?
I ain't been getting it since November, bro.
Sorry to hear that for you in the group. Unfortunately,
I haven't had food stamps in about 10 years.
Yeah, well, it was my first time to get it, and I had it for 1 year, and then they cut me off.
Again,
And I'm fucking blind. I'm not just, lazy. I am actually fucking disabled. And they're like, oh, well.
How'd you get blind? You don't mind me asking.
I got cataracts.
Oh, sorry to hear for you in the group.
Yeah. And since 2020 happened, I'm not going nowhere near no fucking hospital.
But I don't blame you. That I don't fucking blame you.
Again, Charles,
I'm the same way.
I was going to say, again, that's why when you hear them, they're reading from a script and they say they're giving so much money out to a country or whatever, they're giving it to their people, their nobles. They're not giving it to the citizens of that nation. So the American, whether it's Canada, when they do give something to us, there's usually an agenda attached to it. We're going to legalize marijuana, but meanwhile, in that same document, we're going to do all kinds of other stuff. We'll give the masses a small little crumb. We're going to legalize something that we're going to control to no end if they want to play the game of control. And then people can say, yeah, they finally legalized marijuana. I say, okay, so are they going to put hemp now back into the clothing? Are they going to put hemp now in all the other properties that we can use, or are they just going to use it with a smoke? Because to wear hemp clothes opposed to smoking it are two different things. Especially when your body can consume way more through the skin than it can through orally. Once again, it's another form of manipulation, and they pay people heavily for this kind of stuff, Charles.
I'm going to give you another prime example. Like whenever there's like an environmental accident, like the BP oil spill. Okay, when that happened, it fouled the fisheries and the beach and tourism industries and all this kind of shit, right? And everybody who lives in or around or is a part of their life in any way was ruined by this, ecological environmental disaster accident. So what do they do? What's the consequences for that? Well, they get fined millions of dollars. Okay, well, where does that money go? It don't go to us.
No, it doesn't.
Right?
What ends up happening is all the major oil companies participate and help one of their friends, so they increase their price of oils throughout the world so their friend can get back the damages that they lost from that spill. But when it comes to everybody else, fuck you in the boat you came off of. That's what they're really saying.
That's what they're doing in all these fraternities in college. Yeah. You got a group of people who are going to be successful later in life in different areas, and they all, 3 to 5 of them will form a pact. They used to have a word for this, a pentaveret, but it's an agreement between 5 people to say, "Hey, look, you're a dentist. I'm a lawyer. I'm this and that." Different backgrounds, right? And they all help each other out. Give each other business, through referrals and whatnots. And if any one of them falls on hard times, the other 4 are there to get them back up and running on their feet.
Yeah, it's a club. That's why it's called conspiracy. I would lean more towards conspiracy agenda. Forget about the word theory. But yeah, they conspire together. It's like any kind of pack. If you had a pack, yeah.
It's a microcosm of not a communist system per se, but socialist. It's like the NFL or the NBA. Yeah, they are socialist organizations. They all share income. They all share the revenue, the profits. They have salary caps on their players. And they're exempt from certain rules because they are a, quote, private entity. So it's like a quasi. But at the core of it, it's all socialist.
Well, what they do is they'll set up the social system, like you're talking about interviewing. Yeah. But then themselves will step outside of it and then capitalize on it. Hence capitalism feeding off of socialism. They play both sides.
Yeah, and look, I'll give you a prime example real quick. The players have a salary cap.
Yes.
The owners don't have a profit cap.
No, they don't.
So that's where the socialist system falls apart. Then it's capitalism at the top and socialism on the bottom.
And there's no guarantee that the owners, when they're getting money, that money's even staying in that country. So they probably even exempt from paying other kinds of things like taxes and all that. Where a player has to pay taxes based on each city that he goes to.
Exactly.
So he's paying that. He's paying his agent and all that. So a player, usually they're rich and they're wealthy, but they're not like billionaires or trillionaires. It's a different game going on. And to be in those kind of clubs, you probably would have to have generational people. And they've showed in their lineage that, okay, Indigo's great-great-great-great-grandfather was one of us. And this is what he's done. So they keep records of all that stuff. For most of us, we're just puppy mill mentality.
It should be called capitalism.
Put that in the lyrics for you, Charles. It's fun to play with because really...
I just thought of it.
Yeah. That system's always evolving and it's changing. But we're participating with I use the term plug and play. We're not the ones that are creating those systems or making those systems. We're just using the system. So we're paying for its usage, for electricity, for Wi-Fi, for the internet, all of that. We're just paying for its usage. We're not the ones that are making it. And even the ones that they say are making it, there's a good chance they're probably not even making it. They use the disguise. It's all being presented by the military. It could be presented within the military, but it's not, or it might not even be science that are doing all of this. I'm speculating at that point, obviously.
We're born into it.
Could be, but then again, how would somebody that believes in like a character like Socrates or Jesus or Muhammad, did they have Wi-Fi back then? Did they have record players back then? Because it's never reported. They might have, but it was never reported. So is it either not important, or how would those characters, if a guy like Buddha trying to give up attachments, how would he live in today's age? Having a nice truck with some bling bling wheels, going to a club, or having.
Well, I could tell you this: you better hope he don't like getting laid. You know what I mean?
So true in the group, yeah, so true, and abundantly if you wanted it.
Yeah.
It's always nice to fantasize when people look back into times, but we're talking about, it's based on what they say. People used to throw their shit and their piss out their window down onto the street. We're living in comforts in these day and age, even though some people say, but Dom, I'm living in poor. I said, unless you go to India, and you can see a different version of poverty, I guess. It's always fun when
I'll just say this, I live in the deep fucking South, bro, and everybody knows that the South has a reputation. There's a lot of poverty and shit around here. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you, there are a lot of people who are fucking right on the brink of that thing where you talk about being off grid, they got people out here still literally live in little shacks.
Yes.
Some of them were built around the 1900s still. I got a building right next door to me.
Now, if you have means to grow your own crops and raise your own animals, you're not that low on the pole. But for a lot of people, you can live in somewhat comforts, live in a city, have a half-decent job or whatever. But if you're going to somebody's grocery store, you're going to somebody else's gas station, you're buying somebody else's products, you're in a different version of poverty. That's a dependency at that point. It's always fun when I hear people say, Dom, I'm independent. I say, okay, give me an example that you're independent. Well, I have money. I said, so what product and service did you offer to get that piece of paper? And are you printing the piece of paper? Are you circulating the piece of paper outside of just bringing it to a grocery store? No. So where do you get the illusion that you're independent? If anything else, most people that lived at their parents' house, at least they had caring dependency. For most people living outside of their parents, you're in a bigger, different type of dependency. The system will eat us up whether we're concerned about it or not. Wake up in the morning in a heated apartment. There's 101, a dependency. Going into a car, going into a train. You might have preferences, but you're dependent. Most of us are dependent. This is why I talk about intergroup, people being honest with themselves. Most people don't have inner reflection, so at that point they're already at a disadvantage. Most people just don't reflect. They basically live outside of themselves, never realize.
They don't reflect, they project.
Yeah, they project. They see the outside world. Go ahead.
But the fact you said that, it triggered a funny story. A friend of mine told me a few years back. He was talking to his sister-in-law, and he said the statement, well, hindsight is always 20/20, isn't it? Mm. And he said that she looked at him and she said, what does that mean? And he said, when you look back and you, in retrospect, and you examine, a situation and look, and she said, She's like, why would I want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there are people who are just fucking day by day, just like sheets in the wind, bro.
Now the question would be, if I knew it well enough, I said, okay, it's not a matter of why would I do it, can you do it? See, there's the difference. A lot of people can't do it. They might mimic it. It's like, hey, I would like to be able, just for pure giggles and kicks, to run under 10 seconds, 100 meters. But can I do it? Probably not. Can I use some sort of man-made device to get me across the finish line in 100 meters under 10 seconds? Yes, man-made device. But myself personally, can I do it? No. So the question when a person says, why? That's a philosophy question. I would turn around and say, that's the wrong inquiry. Can you do it? For a lot of people, they can't. That's not their ability. In the groove, you probably have a gift. You know, there could be millions of people. You know.
Well, I used to feel like I was the one that didn't get it. That everybody else seemed to get everything perfectly, and I'm the only one that's saying, well, isn't that kind of, okay, I'll go along because I'm going to trust y'all, but I don't get it. But now at least I have the comfort meeting people, you know, like these panels here, where at least I find other people who exhibit the same level of, I guess, analytical proficiency to even look at any of this shit in a certain way, bro. Like, for so long, I was surrounded by people who just either didn't see anything wrong with anything, or, you know, were just bought in and, well, nothing's ever going to change. Well, I'd say things are changed right now.
I think what happens is a lot of people, they feel uncomfortable. When I say a lot, maybe I'm overgeneralizing. When it comes to ideals, which is just another way of saying a belief system, they'll defend it or attack it. I literally will entertain ideals. So when somebody's basically saying, Dom, you know, but you're not agreeing or disagreeing, I said, because I'm still analyzing what you're saying and I'm hearing you out. Now, if I coil back hard enough and it's okay, should this be a private or public conversation? Publicly, I'm not here to air my laundry. I'm just not that kind of guy. If I ever met two people fighting at a restaurant, I'm not there. I'm not going to stick around to say who's right or wrong. I'm fucking leaving. It's of no interest to me. That's noise. But for other people, they might turn around and say, but Dom, I like it. I said, that's your form of entertainment. That's not mine. If I get into an intellectual conversation with somebody, I would hope that they have a stoic position, meaning that they're not emotionally going to try to defend or attack a position. And this is where, when you grow up in a family that basically they follow things, but they've never questioned things, that's aimless living. Regardless if the person becomes financially well, the system is set up that if you're into real estate and you push enough effort into it, you could do well in real estate, let alone at the casinos if you want to play that kind of, or stocks.
Yeah.
They're not questioning the system. How does it serve? Not just me, not poor me. How would it serve if I was somebody else and I'm playing in the imagination game? But for a lot of people, they're living the me mentality, but they're not even doing that well. You know, the system is set up to give you the illusion that it's all about me. It's always, you know, even the Bible, was it written by King James, or he orchestrated it? I think he even wrote the demonic version of it too. But dare not tell that to a Christian. I said, okay, but you're following something aimlessly. Like, no different. Somebody says America is the best country in the world. Have you gone to other countries? Well, no. So then you're just saying things aimlessly. And that's challenging to have those type of conversations, especially if you want to learn something. I said, fuck, I've been talking to In the Groove. I can probably get about 8 or 9 gems in a short conversation. With other people, I could spend fucking weeks. I'm like, fuck, I didn't even get 1 gem out of the fucking conversation. You know, now that's not to boost your ego or anything like that in the group, but that's to acknowledge that you put a lot of work in what you've done or what you observed. Where other people, they haven't done the work. Well, Dom, I go to work every day for a piece of paper. Okay, that's nice. Do you understand how it works? Well, not really, and I don't care. Okay, so you're working for a piece of paper, but you don't care how it works. So then how can you argue about a government that said, listen, I'm in the government, but I really don't care how it works, but I love its advantages. Those are the type of people that people argue with. They don't care about that.
At least say that. You know what I mean? Like, at least say that and be honest if that is how you feel.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. That's
they're
where
not
I'm
going to be honest. They're going to put on one of their personas. Well, am I going to get rewarded if I'm being honest? It has nothing to do with me. I'm just asking you, you know, like back in the old days, you know, friend or foe. So at least I know how to arm myself. If we're friends, I'm going to hug you. If we're enemies, at least let me shine my gun or my knife at least. If we're going to have this battle, I want to at least know that I'm actually participating in it. But a lot of people come on with masks. Okay, I get the mask part, especially publicly. You know, people feel safe now to talk about COVID, but did they really talk about it during it? Some people did. I'm not going to denounce that, but for most people, they didn't. They never questioned what is a virus. What are they? How could you combat it? You know, because there could have been literally a virus out there. Now, do you combat it with fasting? Do you understand the energies that's going on? But no, it showed up and then it just disappeared. By the way, everybody else, wear a mask, put a fucking Q-tip up your nose, and take a couple of injections.
They had people that didn't even, or acted like, or just forgot, or what, that we have a natural immune system.
Yeah.
Like that was fucking debated in 2020 for a minute. They did. They were debating whether we had a fucking. What is the immune system? Do we really have one? It's like, bro. Huh.
You know, again, that's where the stronger survive, and then the next generation will say, okay, we've contended to this immune system. But dare not tell people, okay, so during that time there was no wars, so no gang wars were going on, and now because it's ended, now Russia and America go right back at it again? Come on, they're both stories being told to me at that point. And there's probably an agenda behind it. I'm speculating when I say agenda, because I'm not going to talk about, well, theories is kind of speculating. But at the same time, can we at least entertain those theories? You know, for other people say, no, but I know for sure. I said, okay, who told you for sure? Well, I saw it on CNN. Okay, CNN. Okay, and CBC also talked about it. Did BBC talk about it too? Charles, don't get me wrong. I enjoy the shit show or the comedy when people talk about Donald Trump, but that's all it is. You know, they made sure they hoisted him quite well when they brought him up in WWE.
I just like downing him. I hate that piece of shit.
I mean,
and even then, I'm giving too much energy by hating them.
I mean, it's obvious to see. Even the Trump supporters have to at least reckon, and they do. I hear a lot more of it. In fact, he's just a Trojan horse. The people we should be focusing on, we're right to look at the Palantir. I mean, how many people out here still have no fucking idea about what Palantir is, right? Or we all should know.
Well, some should, but
I mean, if you vote and you don't know who Peter Thiel is, then you're dangerous to the rest of us.
But even that, most people are aimless voters. They're not going to be informative. They're not going to understand what is democracy, what is Republican, what is capitalism, what is Marxism. Once they start understanding, or at least inquiring about some of those things, they'll say, well, if our governments are working for corporations, then it's not really a democracy then. No, it's not. You know, why do we have so many, in this case in America, why do they have thousands and thousands of lobbyists? And who do they represent? They represent corporations. So when people say, listen, Dom, but I only vote once every 4 years. I say, you vote every day when you buy things at McDonald's or you buy a Goodyear tire or you go to Starbucks. You're voting every day to the people that are ruling your country on a regular day. When you use Wi-Fi, you're voting. That is, you're casting our votes. Now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying be at least aware, so at least you know where you stand. For most people, they're too busy looking for answers. Fuck, you're not even aware, so what answers would you be looking for? You know, it's not about Canada. It's not about America. Just because we have borders that they created or made and we got manipulated, same with our calendars, a body of water should not decipher the difference between one human behavior to another unless we understand conditioning. But people don't get that, and that's fine. That's why I say I'm able to talking about the masses again, because I realize, fuck them, leave them alone. They'll fucking keep reproducing. The system's going to carry on with or without me or Indigroove or Charles. But at least people can't use the excuse, I didn't know. I said, now you're full of shit. You do know. Doesn't mean you have discernment. You know, that's where, you know, the people that do have discernment can at least share out loud. That's all they can do. I'm not here to convince anybody. Anybody wants any convincing, go to church. Go to some liberal or conservative campaign, because that's what they're trying to do. Can we convince you to vote for us? I don't know nothing about you. What do you stand for? I stand for economics. Nah, I can go into that because that's what I do on a regular basis.
What do I stand for? I'm a Christian values family man. Yep, you got my vote.
There you go.
You got my vote.
Is that going to put food on my plate? Intergroup? Will that put food on my plate?
Yeah. I'm gonna cut your taxes. Got my vote. That's it.
I got many votes to give then, I guess. But I get it. It's kind of humorous when we talk about it. It is humorous. Some people will get serious about it. It's okay. I get the serious and silliness of it. But when people like maybe Intergroove or me or Charles are talking sincerity, are people paying attention? Or are they too busy being distracted? You know, what are the Kardashians doing? Are they going to go visit Donald Trump at the White House? Why is it called the White House?
I'll give you another prime example of how people's minds are with this shit. Like, I'm in a position right now where, for the first time in my life, I'm having to ask other people for help, right? Which is something that is not natural to me. It's not easy for me to do, but I do it because I have no other option right now. And my own family will ignore me, but they'll send money to fucking political campaigns. So people are subverting their own family, people they know in real life, because, you know, they need to fucking pull themselves up by their own fucking bootstraps. But yeah, they're throwing money at political campaigns and buying T-shirts and hats and waving the flag for rich people that we call politicians.
Unfortunately, a lot of times when people do that, they're just revealing. The only reason why I'm casting or giving money to some, like in this case, governments or whatever, because it serves them. It's all about the left-hand path. It's the me. And again,
It's what serves me.
Yeah, and most people aren't designed to have empathy, let alone clarity. Most people are easier to. It's like when I was saying earlier, you probably have a gift and you honed in on it. Other people, the me, and then hone on it. So at that point, they shouldn't be reading the Bible. They should be reading the Satanic Bible, because then they can see more of themselves. It's all about me. It's all about me. What can the government do for me? What can religion do for me? It's not about you know, what I can do for others. You know, this is where some people that are into theosophy, even though most of them aren't, they're still the me. How can you be a better service to humanity? The elites, believe it or not, whether they agree with it or not, they actually do that more than the masses do. If not, then if everybody was about themselves and the masses, the elites didn't offer them all this tech, where would we be then? Now, some people say, well, we'd be back being farmers or hunters. I said, no. Most people would still be homeless or peasants. So again, most of the technology that we have is being given from them, whoever them are. Because if not, then we should just be all farmers again, or at least try to be farmers. And at that point, we would have to learn from each other. Okay, I got one guy down the street telling me in Intergroove, the sun and the moon is located here, so this is the time you should be planting your crops. And eventually, after patterns, we would have to trust that individual and say, he knows what he's talking about, or she knows what she's talking about. We got to move away from our... Go ahead, Charles.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, then we would have to listen to other people. Say, listen, we're going to have to move away from our established communities, because one of us have been foretold that there's going to be a hurricane. And after a couple of hurricanes, maybe we should start trusting that person. Again, we no longer trust the people that were people like mystics and shamans. And what we do is we aimlessly follow people that have never shown that they're trustworthy.
No, we don't need trust. We need to see.
Burned it down. What the fuck?
We need to see success. We need to see status symbols.
Yeah, even that. If me and you Intergroove saw somebody that was well off, I would have a whole bunch of questions to ask. Not just because I'd be living in my imagination, think, oh fuck, if I had all his money. No, I would have to know what drove you there, what maintained you there. You know, what were your highs and lows? Well, Dom, I was a billionaire once, then I lost a lot of it. I came back again. Regardless of, because I could ask those kind of questions. Is there a lot of dirty parts of the industry? Yeah, I got to manipulate a lot of the industries to become rich. You know, to be a billionaire, you have to manipulate a lot of systems. To be a trillionaire, fuck, even more. To be the elites beyond the trillionaires, what kind of game do you think they got to play? And then a lot of them, they have to play a certain game. Got to make sure you have to approach a person when you're at the dinner table. You got to make sure you have all the silverware correctly. They got more rules to follow than maybe guys like us.
Excuse me. I'm gonna jump off here in 15 minutes. It's 3 hours, I think.
But I'm sorry to hear that for you, Intergroove, that people that are close to you or loved ones, you would think that when times are good or even times are bad, that you can count on them. You know,
that's wild. That your parents rather give money to a fucking politician than their own child?
Yeah, well, it ain't my parents. My parents are dead, so I excuse them for that, but everyone else is.
But still, with
Not
those are your
everyone.
real parents? You're saying
They were,
they're your
yeah.
adopted parents, or they're dead to you? Is what you're saying?
No, they're deceased. My parents.
No.
Other close family members. It sounds like, Charles.
Yeah.
It reveals people, and it's sad, especially when you have to find out when you need them the most. And there's probably a good chance you probably knew even prior to that. Those are the kind of people I probably can't count on.
No, I did. Yeah, they didn't like me when I was doing well either, because I was making them look bad.
Yeah, jealousy.
Because I was overachieving.
Yeah, overachieving.
But now I'm getting my fucking now I'm getting my just desserts now.
In their mind.
Yeah. Oh, he thought he was so much smarter and better. Look at him now.
Yeah, but there's a good chance in the group you probably helped a lot of people when you were doing well.
Oh, I try to do it now, and I ain't got nothing.
You still have an email in the groove? You still have that same email? I think I've just seen your email.
In the groove music at Gmail?
Yeah. I have it written down. I was just making sure.
This is why when they have like class systems, like the strong ones, like in India, they almost keep each other in check. You can't overachieve. You got to be like one of us.
Yeah.
They even do that. Like say for example, you live in America or Canada, and meanwhile some people around you, they're proud Canadians or American. I said, so what? I have to openly admit that I'm a proud Canadian? Why would I have to do that? I like all human beings in all countries. No, you have to pick a side. No, I'm the wrong person to have that.
That dang pride.
Pride before a fall. And after you fall, maybe you can learn some humbleness. Have some of that humble pie.
Let me play this video real quick. It's only a minute long. I forgot I was supposed to play this. We started talking and I forgot all about it. It's only a minute and 26 seconds. I thought this was very interesting because anyway, let me just shut up and play it real quick to get out the way.
Captain Cook went to Australia and put the Rothschild Windsor flag on Aboriginal land, but they were already in their buildings in Sydney and Melbourne. They were already there.
You're saying some of these buildings are thousands of years old?
Tartarian. It comes from Russia, and just near Moscow to the east you'll see modern-day Tatar Empire, which is not legally in Russia, but physically in Russia. When the Bolsheviks from Wall Street destroyed Russia and killed 100 million Christians and set up Bolshevik Russian system, they destroyed the Tartarian
Empire.
Yes, and even in Germany, Dresden and all of that was Tartaria. They had to destroy America, Russia, and Germany because they were just too advanced in Tartarian free energy, magnetism. All of those turrets and towers and all those beautiful, highly ornamented Edwardian and Georgian so-called buildings were harvesting magnetic energy. So what they did was to enslave people, you've got to make them pay for their energy. Before it was free, we had free energy, free food, everything was free. So what they did, the Colonna family went westward and the Venetians, they went eastward. What they did was controlled their ports. Not to control the lands and everything, like Rothschild said, I don't care who makes the laws, I want to control the purse strings, the money.
The money.
That's Venetian.
Yeah.
100 million people, man. Holy shit. That's a lot of people. These motherfuckers, man. It sickens me, man, when I think about a lot of this shit. How we just disrespect Mother Earth to the fullest. I literally feel sick sometimes when I think about it.
I guess outside of the stories that Santos is sharing, the one thing I would probably, challenge the words that you say, the word free. Nothing's free. You have to work with Mother Nature. It doesn't just give it to you. Now, when you've done your part, it will probably do its part. So now, outside of that,
I knew when you were saying that, I knew you were going to say that, Dom. When you were saying it and said, "Watch," I knew it.
Yeah, because I'm,
no, but you're right.
Yeah, we have to distinguish what is free at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you another example. On my land, I have a water well. Okay, so it's drilled. I got my own tank and everything. I could have just tied into the city water.
Yeah.
In order to get the well, I had to pay $4,000 up front, right? But right now, I have what is essentially free water. Like, it's not metered, right? I could use water all day long if I want, but you know, I have to pay for the electricity to run it. If you want to go that deep with it, but at the same time, my water is free enough to where even though I'm broke right now, and if I couldn't pay the bill at the end of the month, I would have no water. At least right now, I can go out there and I can freely get the fucking water when I need it.
Yeah, it can be freely. Yes. It's kind of like when people use the word saving. It's the absence of paying. It's a play on word, and it's like when the person uses the word God. A lot of people have a connotation to the word God. So when people hear the word free, it's almost like I'm getting away with something. I have to put no effort. No, nothing's free. Nobody sells you anything for free. The word sell gives it away. So now nature might offer something, and you can tap into it. It's like when somebody said, "Dom, I'm losing weight." I said, "Are you losing weight or shedding weight?" Because we have to remember, our subconscious picks up a lot of things. It's not there to judge, but it'll be confused if I say, "Okay, but I'm trying to lose weight." I say, "Okay, I've just given you a disease. You're losing all kinds of weight." "Yeah, but I want to change it now." No, you put it in your system. Like I said, that's been conditioned in us. It's like even when people use the word freedom of speech, even if it did exist, freedom of speech does not work on a platform that's privately owned. That's a government term. And the government have been told that term by the same people that are going to say privately we have policies. It's like when people go to court and say, "Listen, I'm following laws." No, you're following policies. Laws, the letter of the laws is more about nature now at that point. We've got away from our energies. Fucking calendars is not us.
They enforce the policies too, man. Like people be like, policies don't override law, but yes, they do. Because if you don't follow the policies, they'll beat your fucking head in.
Well, policies are for the people, for the employees.
Yeah,
that's what a policy is for a company employee. A policy is not for fucking the general public.
Well, policies are usually made for the human race. Okay, now the human race is in what's called laws, letter of the laws. Land, air, water, and space. Nature's wild and untamed. It's not domestified. We domestify the little parts, but in our head we do that. So when people understand you're always under the laws, because if not, then how does the ocean know not to always go past the beach? Same with the sun and the moon. They follow laws. There's different rulers here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
As far as laws and a system of laws go, I'm okay. Let's explore the idea of natural law.
Yes.
Because I looked at natural law and what it states as it is, and I got to be honest. After I read it, I said, you know what? This is the most resonating system of laws that I've ever read, even more so than the Bill of Rights and Constitution.
Well, the Bill of Rights and Constitution, those are to fuck with the brain.
Man-made.
Yeah, well, those are man-made policies. So now, in this case, the signs in the skies follow laws. So the signs in the sky. Go ahead.
What do you want to go by, God's laws or man-made law?
Well, nature, whether there's an entity called God, source, aliens, reptilians, whatever. But we can only see what our senses can pick up to a certain point, and then that intuitive aspect of us. This is where we talk about the spiritual and the material, where I know those are signs in the sky. So then what is the clock and the watch? Those are gauges.
But you know it's wrong because you feel it inside you. Like if you killed an animal, like at least I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't speak for everyone. But when I see a dead animal, I feel sad within.
I'll give you another example. Just like a lot of people like to say religion and the Bible itself is where people get their morality from.
They say those are God's laws in the Bible, but God didn't write that book. Man did.
Well, and therein lies the problem.
It's God, right?
Morality comes from the fact that you're in a mortal form. We're actually immortal. We're immortal.
Some people don't seem to agree with that. Some people actually say that we need the book for morality.
Okay, that may be true, and that's fine for them. Okay, so they follow some written work. No different. Somebody says, "You see this gun? Are you going to follow it?" What do you mean? Well, if I shoot your child, you're going to follow the gun, right? What do you mean? Well, yeah. So at that point, again, morals is a game that we play with each other as we're talking about, pharmaceutical stuff and wars. So again, it's kind of like, how many times are you going to move the goalpost? How many times? Right now, it's even outside the field. So again, those are the type of people like, thank you very much. You just told me. You say quietly, I'm talking to an NPC character. Because to have an argument with another human being, it's kind of fruitless.
When you said how many times we're gonna move the goalposts, I thought of someone running into the goalposts.
They can only hope they run into the goalposts.
Oh,
there you go.
shit.
You know. But again, that's where, you know, I'm not here to change people's views. That's theirs to take, own, whatever. But unfortunately, when somebody openly admits they're a Christian, unless they say Christ consciousness, then we can have a conversation. Okay, that's nice. You're a Christian. Okay, done. You know, because really outside of that, I'm going to challenge them why they're a Christian. That's not my responsibility. I'm not here to babysit people. But for a lot of people, they will debate. I'm like, okay, you know, debating's better done alone with the self, right?
That's an ego though when people debate. They gotta feel like they're above someone or they gotta be right.
Well, it's not actually a debate though.
No, it's not.
I don't got nothing to prove to nobody.
If it's a structured debate,
for me, I'm speaking for me.
Yeah, if it's a structured debate, I'm gonna share my views. Intergrew's gonna share his views. I'm not here to change his view, and vice versa. The people that are hearing it, they can learn different views. That's it. But for me to ask him to move from his position, it'd be no different than him asking to move from my position. I'm the only one that's living through my eye of the beholder. It's like the Plato's cave. I could try to explain to other people what I've seen with this language that's very erroneous, meaning that it has a lot of holes in it, where other people say, well, don't. Again,
I'm not here to change no one's mind. That's up to them. I'm just sharing how I see or feel.
That's right.
I'm here to be me, bro. That's what I'm here. I'm here to be me. And if the fucking world around me doesn't accept that, well, too fucking bad because I'm here, bro.
Sucks to be them in the groove. It sucks to be them.
It's like the conversation we had yesterday. We're talking about, you know, the whole cop thing and shit. It's like, I forgot where I was going to go with that. Like somebody's perception of my attitude as a form of violence.
Yeah, you did a good job yesterday, Groove, on that.
Yeah.
You were making some good points.
Yeah, I have to be honest, bro. That dude, bro, I don't, for a long time, it doesn't smell authentic to me. And I try to fucking play the game and be nice, but every time I'm around that dude, even when I'm just watching him on other panels, everybody else is pointing out the same shit, bro. So I don't know what to say about that, but I don't like being fucking, you know.
Well, you were airing, I heard you yesterday, you were airing your grievances, you know, for somebody to interrupt. Sometimes this allow each other to hear each other out. I'm not here to tell you whether you should like cops or don't like cops.
I felt as though he was going against you
on purpose, just to do it.
On purpose.
Yeah. That's what he's always done in conversation. We have never fucking had a conversation where we can agree. Every time I say something, that motherfucker's got to pipe up.
Well, even if he is agreeing,
I catch him doing it.
Yeah, but even if he's agreeing or disagreeing, it's about allowing you to finish your share. You know, like if there was a police officer on panel with us right now, and Intergroove aired his grievances, and the police officer is strong enough to realize, okay, I'm not that type of person. I happen to be in that industry, and
right?
That's all he's talking about. No different if somebody said, "Listen, I don't know."
Yeah, he's gonna at least say, you know what? I know what you're talking about happens.
Yeah, it does.
And that's all you gotta fucking say.
That's right.
But no, now it's gotta be. Yeah, anything like that. Yeah, or I've never seen it in my. But if that's your experience, you know, I respect that, and I'll speak about it on that level. I don't have to fucking believe you to debate your idea with you or to debate any topic.
That's right.
Just present a good fucking argument.
Yeah, it's no different if all of a sudden a bunch of us are here talking and some of us have personal experience with the opposite gender. Okay, I can't dispute you on that. I might say, okay, it resonate. I have some similar things, but the best person to have a conversation with, if you're trying to, you know, get a full 360-degree conversation, would be another woman on the panel. So in this case, unless there's another cop on the panel or some government official on the panel that either would say, listen, I've experienced those things, I'm actually that person you're talking about. And at that point, you might realize, yeah, I'm a badass cop. I don't really give a shit about the citizens of the world. At that point, at least you're hearing his honesty and you're sharing your honesty outside of going into a ring. But what ends up happening is I get the cherry picking. unless, in this case, I know who you're talking about, says, listen, I know police officers. Okay, but are you a police officer? Well, no. So then allow Intergroove to share his grievances. That's it. Let him talk. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing. The fucking giving the stamp is like what? Do we all get mugged the same way? Probably not. Do we all have family members that were neglectful? Probably, but completely the same? Probably not. You can live in the same household with brothers and sisters, and they see it totally different than you. So
yeah, definitely.
The best thing we could do is just share with each other. But when people interrupt, and I do it too, I won't deny that, because I feel as though, fuck, I got this whole fucking waterfall of information I can just share out loud. But I realize, Dom, if it's really that important, you can mute, right? There you go. I'm the one that has to learn from it. Doesn't mean Intergroove or Charles has to learn from it. But if they want to hear me, they're showing me respect. I get it. I could easily pick both sides in any conversation, but what about if there's many sides? What happens if it's more of a degree, 360 degrees, opposed to just giving me 8 zeros and ones? But I get it. A lot of people want to have that. I already casted my vote. I hate fucking government, so I'm going to go to channels that only talks about hating government. Okay, that's fine. I'll leave. No different people talk about religion. If a person doesn't believe in religion or doesn't agree with religion, go to something that you do believe in, science, flat earth, whatever.
See, maybe that's something that needs to be clarified, at least maybe from my own perspective on this whole government thing. I'm not anti-government per se. I'm anti the people that are in the government right now running it the way they're running it. I like when you talk about the system, I like the internet, right? It's my marketplace as a musician these days. It is useful to me. I do get useful information from it and social interactions, right? But what I don't like is when they take our data and they're putting it in a fucking database and they're going to fucking label us something and then keep us from buying from food. I have to be responsible enough about it to say, you know what? That's a manipulation. And that's all I'm trying to do is just point it out and make people aware, just as a cautionary tale to say, hey, before you touch that hot pan on the stove, I'm going to tell you, it's going to fucking hurt.
That's right. They're still going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because you study and you went to school to learn about psychology and all that, you're really, what I'm hearing you talk about is human behavior. If a person that does shadow work for themselves, they realize, I see the government differently now. What do you mean? If I could get away with it, I would do it. See, this is where it's not about government. It's not about religion. It's about the human behavior that's in it. It's like somebody saying, I hate guns. No, it's the human behavior that you have an issue with. Especially if you get a person that said, listen, if you got somebody came into your house, would you quickly shoot that gun, or would you actually find out, listen, I got a gun, don't take anything? See, for some people, they react. They're dangerous to themselves and to others. So when people say, I don't like governments, I'm like, okay, is it the government or the human behavior? Because to understand the human behavior, they would have to know themselves first. Would they be no different? Now, the person will say, Dom, I would never do that. I say, if I give you enough zeros and put a 1 in front of it, I'll find out whether or not you're that kind of person. Because the person, I would never sell out. I said, how do you not know you haven't bought into the system already? See, for me, it's not about religion. It's about human behavior. It's not about government. It's human behavior. I know my human behavior. If I could run the system, if I was conditioned to be an elite, you think I'd come to these kind of conversations? And if I did, I'd be fucking pure giggles and kicks. Because people would realize, I just have to tell one story and then watch everybody else argue with each other. They talk about Donald Trump and then people are too busy arguing with each other. I said, Donald Trump, and what is he doing? It's like two women fighting over a man. I said, wait a second. Isn't the man the one that's married to one of them and having an affair with the other one? Shouldn't both of those women be mad at the man? But no, they're too busy mad at each other because they figure they have to win the argument opposed to doing what is maybe right for themselves.
If you guys have time, check out this link in the back. I don't know.
Thanks,
it's
Sharp.
a long video from Tommy's channel. It's a good video. You probably already know that stuff, Dom, but
I like hearing other people.
I thought it was pretty interesting. And he talks about the Pilgrim Society and the silver and gold.
Me and Tommy still have to go out for lunch. We were supposed to go last week. We didn't go. But anyway, I will listen to it. Honestly, Charles, I enjoy hearing you and Intergroove. Intergroove, I love his passion. Even when the first couple times I met him, I said, fuck, I like this guy's passion. Hope he doesn't direct it towards me.
I know I'm not for everybody. I know it's a little rough around the edge, whatever. That's the environment I was raised in, bro. You got to fucking be hard.
you're for me. Trust me, Groove. I enjoy your company. I don't mind playing the advocate, but I realize you have strong convictions, and also know you're flexible in some of those convictions. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like I know what I know enough to tell people about it. Right? That's why I do it. I don't tell people half-cocked ideas that I don't really have enough validation before I'm going to share it. And then at the same time, I also realize that I don't know everything. And everybody does have different experiences. And I do want to hear other people's experiences because that's what adds to what I think I know or what I know from my experience, right?
But what I get from it in a group, sorry, what I get from it, it's not just your knowing. You have discernment in a lot of those areas. That's the big difference. I can know about a lot of things. I'm not going to do the Socrates, you should know nothing. That's full of shit. You should be able to know things. Go beyond belief system, know, and then have discernment to know, to either judge fairly or just to be indifferent to those things. Sorry.
No, it's in religion too. It tells you test the spirits, right?
Very much so, yes.
Yeah.
Whether they're demons or angels, test them both. And the way you test that, you have to test yourself first. If you're not war prepared within oneself, then how can you be externally? At that point, you're just trying to survive. How many people are already just trying to survive? So now you put them on the war field. That's all they're trying to do. They're my enemy. Really? Are they really your enemy? Are you sure the enemy's not from within? Because if your friends could be within, I get it. People they don't like the outside world. I said, what part are we talking about? Trees are beautiful. Water's beautiful. Can water in a tree be harmful to you? Yes. Same with animals. Again, that's usually a person that's very insecure, masking it with a false sense of security. I don't agree with the system. Okay, you don't agree with the system. What part are we talking about? As a person's doing financially well in the system. At that point, he's a hypocrite, and they're just not openly admitting it. At that point, I might be suspicious. Are you an agent unaware? Are you in a club of some sort? Because even that, I don't mind talking to guys that are Masons, because most of them are fucking dumb as a doorknob. But I don't mind having those conversations. Now, I say that openly, dumb as a doorknob, to see if emotionally they're going to get distraught. Well, Dom, you shouldn't say that. I just did. What are you going to do about it? You're going to beat me up? You're going to bring in your vessel to beat me up now? You can't even take a fucking conversation without getting your emotion getting all triggered, and then you're going to drag in your body. That's why the ego has to be in check. If me and Intergroove and Charles are having a conversation, both mentally and emotionally, there should be nothing about physically. Well, you hurt my feelings, so now I have to kill you. Oh, really? You're going to enslave your body now for that?
Yeah. If somebody said that, that's wild. They'll kill you over their feelings getting hurt.
But that's what they do, Charles. That's why they have emotional crimes. How many people are in jail because they did something physically? I get it. If you're going to have to steal food because somebody's hoarding it, you got to be prepared for the reward that comes from it. You just got caught. Most people, they're not worrying about right and wrong. They're worrying about getting caught. And that's fine. Like I said, I'll play wordsmith with people just to see whether or not they're developed emotionally. The fact that they're already coming with an alias name tells me a lot about them. But that's fine. But if they're going to have a personal conversation, am I with somebody that I can trust? Especially like when people talk about, like some example, like land. Okay, are we going to talk about allodial titles? Are we going to talk about, paying tribute and all that? But I own land. I said, well, there's the illusion. Nobody ever owns land. That's what the same people that talk about control. You can steward the land like you can steward your vessel. But to own it, are you going to have the military that's going to take it to man it, like the elites do it? They're rulers. There's a reason why they call themselves lords, because they know there's owners, but they're not here on the race.
They're only lords and rulers because we go along with it.
Of course they do, Charles. If all of a sudden somebody said, and I'm using you again, Intergroup as an example, come to me in Intergroup and say, listen, I had a dream last night, and some angel told me that I'm supposed to be a king, and me and Intergroup have to build their castle. Fuck you and the boat you came off of. I can't speak for Intergroup, but I'm telling you where I stand with that. Until he comes into my dreams, you built your own fucking castle. But I get it. The reward could be, he might convince somebody else to cut off my head. I said, no, I want you to fucking cut off my head. If you're following whatever God that is, you should be represented for him, not some other puppet that's actually doing your bidding. Maybe get him to build your castle too while you're there. And this is how we easily get manipulated. I already know I'm manipulated, but I don't want to go any further than I have to be. But I also enjoy this. Go ahead, Charles. Ciao, Intergroove. Charles, have a beautiful day, both of you guys.
Yeah, man.
No, you can finish what you're saying.
No,
Dom.
no, Charles, that never
Saying-
ends, Charles. I have to go get some adult Depends from my mouth now. Charles, the groove. And sorry for interrupting you, Andrew Groove.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, I'm about to jump off here. This was a good conversation, good live stream, more or less. I meant to say. Damn, and the groove jumped off too.
No, I'm still here. I think.
Oh, I thought you jumped off right away. But peace to everyone in the chat, man. This was a good live stream.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, did I drop the link for Tommy's video? That video was very interesting. I learned some stuff that I didn't know about the, I think they're called the Pilgrim Society. And they're buying up all the silver and gold.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It would, if I knew the stuff back then that I know now, like if I had parents that, like, more or less, I'll say this real quick. If I was able to access the information back in the days, it was harder to access a lot of information compared to today. It's a lot easier to access stuff through a device.
Yeah, I was going to say that earlier. When I was growing up, the only thing even close to the internet that we had were encyclopedias, right?
Yeah.
And I used to love encyclopedias. We never had one in my house, but when my friends had one, I always loved the fact that, if you got a question, you can find it in the encyclopedias. And that's what the internet has become for me, is like an evolving, up-to-date, current encyclopedia of things. And it's just the difference between our childhood times and the technology we had to deal with what's available now. We should be flying around in cars and shit. We all should be feeding the world. I mean, there should be no limit. And it seems like we're doing less now than when we.
No one should be homeless and hungry.
We could all be fucking illusion anyway. That's why I don't trust history and none of this shit, because it don't add up. We evolving? Is this evolution where we're at right now?
We're devolving, more or less.
Yeah. And yet, still, the only way we can solve disputes is through throwing missiles at each other's neighbors. Like, Trump can't even be man enough to say, you know what, I really don't like this Iranian motherfucker. How about me and you just square off and let's settle it like fucking men? No, that's not how they do it.
Right? They got to kill innocent people.
Yeah, so how much do they really care about it?
If he blows up their water supply, that's war crimes. Like
he's already committed war crimes.
Yeah, all the presidents have committed war crimes. All of them.
You know what? As an American, I say he should be prosecuted for that.
When I say all of them, I mean the ones in my lifetime, from 81 on.
Yeah, and not just him. Everybody in this cabinet, all the military generals that went along with the shit, and I'm talking about 2020 also.
They're trying their hardest for all these distractions to take away the fact that they're.
I'll say this too, just to bring it home for me, where I'm speaking from. The same people that I used to work with when I worked at the state in IT, I saw them same motherfuckers on TV in 2020 telling people to go out and get fucking jabbed up. So I worked with these motherfuckers, right? And I'm looking at them on
some commercial on YouTube about vaccines. It's
a
vaccine that's supposed to cure cancer, to stop you from getting it. That's wild.
Yeah.
I stay far away from Western medicine now. Like to go to the hospital, I gotta be dying on the ground, and even then, I wouldn't want to go. I'd rather die.
That's where I'm at.
But I don't know. I'm gonna jump off here. I need to go do a few things. Maybe I'll go live later. I don't work tonight, so
I don't know. Yeah, I'm about to cook some lunch.
I appreciate you coming up in the groove.
Yeah,
and maybe one day you can make me a beat if you have time or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been trying to think about how I can do some things differently. I'm ready to kind of change some shit up. So I've been working on some stuff, but I ain't been finishing a lot.
A boom bap tempo. I just wanted something to use on the album I'm making.
Yeah, I've been making some beats for this other guy.
You'll get credit for it for sure. Whoa.
Yeah, I just want to help other people fucking do their thing, bro. If I could fucking, if I could do anything to help people get started, or I feel like I've done my job at that point, you know.
I know.
That's the only reason I've ever put myself out here with DJing and all this shit. It ain't because I'm trying to promote myself as a DJ. I'm trying to fucking give other people
love music.
Yeah, give them the spark. Y'all go do it, and I'll listen to y'all fucking do it. When you playing a song, I'm like, what the fuck is that, dude? You know what I mean? That's what I do shit for. So.
You too, Candy. Have a great day. Don't work too hard.
Yeah, I'm just sitting around.
Watch out for the road pirates, man. I just said to Candy.
What's a road pirate?
Cop.
Oh, okay.
They'll pull you over for fucking. They have so many excuses now, like tints. They could say, "Oh, your tints are too dark." But the cop, the cop that has the darkest tints ever will pull you over and say, "Oh, your tints are too dark." While the cop has tints you can't even see.
Yeah, I can't see if I walk up and you got dark tint, I can't see. You might have a gun and you might. It's for my safety. That's all right, bro. And it sounds like you need to go home, little girl, because you sound fucking paranoid.
The guy armed with 17 weapons talking about my safety.
Yeah, my tone of voice is hostile violence. I get it. Yeah. You just go ahead and shoot me, bro. That's the obvious next fucking step. Huh.
All right, everyone. Have a great day. I might go live later tonight if I'm not doing nothing. If you guys ain't doing nothing, come by.
Going out, dude. Come on. Wanna go out, lady?
Have a great day in the groove. Good. And thanks, Dom, for coming up. And peace to everyone in the chat.
Y'all
have a
fun,
good day. And I will see you guys next time.
Y'all have fun. I know I'm rough around the edge. We hard, bro. Fucking how we grow up down here. Can't let nobody play you like no fucking punk, because that's what they do around here. Man. They play you like a punk, and if you allow them to play you like a punk, then you deserve it. So you know what? I'm gonna make you fucking earn it. You want it? Let's see how bad you want to play me for a punk.
People take
weed through the fucking
kindness for weakness, man. It's not. That's the thing. People will take kindness for weakness. But peace out, everyone. Oh yeah, watch the UConn game. I hope UConn wins. It's probably rigged and they won't. From what Gematria says, I think Michigan's gonna win it. But anyway, I'm out.